Hi, everyone. This is DJ Honey Flow. This is a very special show, probably the most important show I've probably ever done in the most important week of being on Twitch. And I just want to thank, everyone, all the streamers, all the temporary mods. There's so many people to thank. It's just been such an overwhelming experience for me in the past month. And just so much has happened and transpired. So I can't wait to talk to all of you guys about everything that has happened. I see everyone coming in the room, and I know Nicole Knight Official, she's killing it with her set. She's going to be coming in right away too. What I'm going to do is the first hour, I'm going to be talking to John Cassells, and he's been fighting human trafficking for, over 30 years. He's been really in the trenches just working. And also, I'm also going to be the last hour or hour and a half to 2 hours. I'm going to be talking to my girl, my friend, Flosoul. She's going to be on with me. It was extra special because she was on Twitch yesterday for the very first time, too. So she's going to be on with me. And yeah, so it's going to be great. I'm trying to shut off actually these alerts because they keep buzzing. I'm not sure how to shut them off, but I'll have to figure that out. So yes, so I hope you guys stick around the next couple hours. The second half, definitely going to be thanking each and every one of the 94 streamers. This took so much work, 94 female streamers. I contacted, let's see here, guys. I think I have it all written down. I contacted 266 women in 4 days from morning till night. I was contacting women. Now imagine those messages tripled. And then I had 119 women that said yes to me, and 94 that actually confirmed and were on board. So it's been such a journey. Thank you guys so much. I think the raid is coming through here. Oh, yes, you guys already raided me. Okay, I didn't even see that. Thank you so much for the raid. It was awesome. Nicole Knight Official. Make sure everyone adds her. She's definitely special. She does a great show. And I feel like is the full package, not even just a DJ. I feel like she's really good at entertainment, kind of like a DJ Hannah Rad. When I look at her and look at some of these other girls on Twitch, they're really the full package. And I see them going way further on their shows than just DJing, but actually, being TV personalities. That's what I kind of see when I watch their shows. So make sure you guys add Nicole Knight Official. Thank you guys, all the raiders coming in the room. I appreciate you. Again, I go by DJ Honeyflow. I spent 6 days doing an all-female raid showcasing for International Women's Month, but I wanted to do something that was a lot more special to my heart, which was, being in this fight against human trafficking. And I'm learning so much this year with it and this last month. And just my heart really, really, I just have a real heart for a lot of the survivors, the women and the children in human trafficking. And I hope to make this a lifetime journey. So if you guys feel led in any time in this show, please, hit the donate tab. Seeds Canada is an amazing organization. I've spoken to the owner, Laura Ross, and she really has a true heart for these survivors. She actually built a restoration house on her farm. She was living a good life and a high life. And then she had a dream, just like how I had a crazy dream the last couple months in regards to this, and we just connected. And it's all thanks to John Cassells. He's the one that connected us. And the one thing I want to say about this man that I'm bringing on, I just think he's remarkable. He does an organization, guys. It's called Men Against Human Trafficking. This guy has got such a legit heart that he actually bypassed himself. Guys, who does that? He bypassed himself to, kind of fundraise for, and said, hey, I think there's another woman I know named Laura Seeds that runs Laura Ross that runs Seeds Canada, that can really use the money with the vision that you are talking about, and he's like, don't get me wrong, I could use it for my organization, which is Lifeworthy, but I feel like your vision belongs with Laura Ross from Seeds Canada. So I don't know anyone that would pass up taking money that you're fundraising for. and say, hey, you know what, I'll take a step back and I'll let someone else lead, and I'm going to, give a different organization to you because your vision matches it. And the vision of my true heart was finding an organization that was grassroots, but also finding an organization that didn't just bring awareness to people on human trafficking, but also really worked with these women. And John Cassells does that. He works alongside these women, but really working with these women in a restoration house. So we're going to talk about, how this all happened and how this all started, probably the second hour. I just want to thank all the raiders. I'm sorry, guys, I'm running literally on 4 hours of sleep for the past 6 days. So if I don't make sense, and I'm going to tell you some funny moments I did, then that explains it. But I just wanted to say hello to all the raiders, refresh your pages. I see Mishi Cakes in the building, Sonia Jr. We got microwave in the house. We have, let's see here, DJ Foxy. Oh my gosh, she touched my heart. She really touched my heart with her show. It was just unbelievable. That girl actually had me in tears, watching her, because she also works alongside human trafficking survivors. She helps them update resumes, and she helps them just, get situated in the real world, which job training is one of those things, and finances. We got JB Wright in the building that's helped me, DJ Creamy. So many great people. Sonia from the Netherlands. Thank you guys for coming through. But I'm going to focus a little bit more, and I hope you guys don't mind, because we only have an hour here with John. We got Tilt in the building, of course, Nicole Knight Official. So I'm not going to do a million shout outs today, because I know there's going to be more people coming through, but I just want to bring him on and have a conversation so you guys really understand what human trafficking is. And I see you guys in the room. I see your messages. But I think this show is going to be a little different. When I get Flo on the second hour, then I'll definitely be doing more shout outs and connecting a lot more with the comments. But let's get John on. And I just want to give you guys a rundown. John has worked with vulnerable and exploited young people since 1984. He's done various outreach programs on addictions, homelessness, and sex, and also in the sex industry. He's the founder of Men Ending Trafficking, and he's the director of Life Worthy. So you should see his link come up soon. He's the director of Life Worthy. And I feel, if you guys feel in your heart to give, I still have my goal, and I still want to hit that. And I may not hit it in 6 days, but I'm hoping to still hit that goal of $15,000 to give to the organization. And I'm just going to keep pushing until that happens. So if you guys feel in your hearts to give, just give, because I promise you, when you give to others, it's going to come back to you double fold. It will. And I know this is a hard season for everyone. It's been a hard season for me as well, losing a job. But you know what? When you give from the heart, it really truly does come back. And this organization is really true and pure. And it's not just a fundraiser. I've done a million fundraisers. It's not just a fundraiser. This woman has a true heart for these survivors. And these survivors are a lot of women and children that are in this industry. And just hearing some of their stories is absolutely horrendous. And if you guys have missed some of those stories, then please go back to my first show. I think it was last Friday. I don't even remember what day we're on right now, but I think it was last Friday. You'll hear a survivor story on there, and her name is Maria. And she's got me thinking. I can't stop thinking about her, and she was so courageous. And she came on here onto Twitch for a very first time and shared her story, and just how much has changed in her life too. And it's nothing but people like John and Laura that have a heart, people like you and me that have a heart. And maybe you can't be in the trenches like they can, but we're all in the trenches together, and giving is one of them. Doing something above yourself, and not serving yourself but serving others. That's what we need more in the world. We need people like that in the world. So I can't do that alone. If you guys get a chance, please hit the donation tab. Give whatever you can. I promise you it's going to come back to you tenfold. And I know that. I could say that with all assurance. So definitely hit that donation tab and give whatever you can. But let's bring in John Cassells right now again. Hey, John, how you doing?
I'm all right. I didn't get into the office today, so I'm zooming in, or whatever you call it here in the StreamYard, from my living room. My wife is in the kitchen in the next room preparing dinner. So you may hear a dog barking, you may hear some other noises, but great to be with you. A little under the weather, but I'll try to hang in there for the hour with you.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I just wanted you to clarify to maybe explain kind of what you're currently doing with the work with human trafficking and just how you kind of work with some of the women. I think would be great for people to kind of know. And I also want to go through some of the myths again because I've noticed a lot of people have these preconceived notions that it's kidnapping, abductions, and it's not necessarily that. It's definitely happens with a lot of people. So maybe if you could explain those things to people, that would be great.
Sure. Okay, so a lot there.
Yeah.
So I've been, as you mentioned, gosh, is it coming up to, I don't know how many years, 1984, working with young people. But I had worked with a lot of kids who ended up becoming involved in prostitution, seemed to have these exploitative relationships with young men, and never really understood how that worked or what was going on. And I think that was pretty typical. Me getting into youth work in 1984, there was a real skewed and inaccurate perception of the whole concept of human trafficking. And human trafficking was not a term that we even used at that point. So in Canada, where I live, human trafficking in the form that we understand it right now came into our law books in 2007. So we were always looking at laws that pertain to forcible confinement and kidnapping. But to understand from a more accurate perception, what human trafficking is and why it's a crime, why it destroys people's lives, that's a relatively new thing. And the anti-human trafficking movement in Canada, we're a little bit behind the United States and probably a little bit behind the UK. That movement really started about 15 years ago, 15. So there's been a radical shift on the part of society, or a radical shift is underway in the part of Canadian society to really understand what this is. 10 years ago, friends of mine, a few of them, most of them had heard the term human trafficking, did not have a concept of what it is. And you mentioned kidnapping, literally plucking somebody off the street. I know girls in Canada for which that happened. That was their story, but generally it happens through feigned romance. So these are what is commonly called finesse pimps. They come across as real slick operators. They're very kind. They're very romantic, and they woo people away from their families, away from their communities, young women, and begin to exploit them. And so that's what we're seeing. Not sure if I answered all of your question there, but so I run a little project with a fairly well-established mission organization that's been around for about 130 years. That organization is SIM Canada. And so I, unlike most of our workers historically, I wasn't shipped over to Africa or India or South America, but I began to develop programming here in the Toronto, the Greater Toronto area, and especially with opportunities to engage local churches. The anti-human trafficking movement in Canada, it's interesting because when you were talking about 94 women came alongside you and said, yeah, let's do this. I'm in. I want to be part of this whole production of raising awareness and raising funds for Laura Ross and her project. That's so much like how the anti-human trafficking movement started in Canada. Like there were no men to speak of really who were in on it, but I always found that really really difficult to grapple with, because I thought, hey, wait a minute, we have human trafficking because of a demand for prostitution. That's why, that's where the funding comes from. And so if men are behind the whole funding apparatus to this crime, then why aren't more men standing against it? So so that really motivated me to get involved. So yeah, you're right. I started one of my programs was Men Ending Trafficking. We provide a lot of support for young women in the courts when they are subpoenaed to go testify against that pimp that they're probably still sort of in love with because of the psychological control and the trauma bonds that they have. So that's become a separate organization. We're building a team of primarily female leadership that does the frontline work with the girls, and it's grassroots, it's small, but we're just having a great time.
That's so awesome. One thing I was going to ask you too is, and I guess I'll be honest, it was at the back of my mind when I met you too, you know, and I know you had a comment, and I just want you to be real, you know, definitely. And I know you are, because you definitely speak the truth, you know, and sometimes the truth is hard to digest for people. Like, you know, some people are either going to love the truth or they're just not. But I noticed when I was on the phone with you, you really spoke the truth. You know, you broke it down even to the music, to, you know, different things that we discussed privately on the phone. But do you ever get like, okay, you're a man in the trenches and you're trying to fight, you know, human trafficking and prostitution, and it's just like, do you ever get like, well, why is this guy hanging out with, you know, and I hate using the words prostitute. I hate using that word, but like, do you ever get that notion where people are like, why in the world does she, you know, or why in the world is he doing this as a man? Because it's very, I haven't really seen men fighting against this. So it's very unique. So have you ever gotten that? Like people thinking that about you?
You know, people never say it to my face, but you know, it sometimes becomes the elephant in the room. But you know, and you gotta try to be careful about how things are perceived, or stepping into situations that could, you know, go off the rails. But especially as a man. But you know what? These young gals have been so abused by men, and when they go through the process of recovery, they're eventually going to have to get to some place where they can interact with confidence, you know, in mixed company, right? So yeah, they're going to have to develop the ability to, you know, to interact with men. Interestingly enough, and something that surprised me is initially when the gals come away, they maybe have a police intervention, and they decide, yes, I think I have been abused enough. I should try to stay away from my pimp. They often, and probably about half the time, they only want to deal with male police officers and male social workers.
Really? That's interesting.
It is interesting because you would expect exactly the opposite.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
when the gals are being controlled, they're really put in competition with the other women who are also being exploited. And so they come away often with a real mistrust of females, and gravitate toward men. And that's not entirely healthy either, because they need to. And so I may be often the first point of contact with the young people who are reaching out to my organization. But my hope is that in quite short order, we can pair them up with one of our female leaders, because ultimately that's going to be usually a lot more productive.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to thank everyone, guys. I want to thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. You know, and I'm going to be doing more thank yous when John, I only have an hour with John, so I'm going to do more thank yous when my friend Flosoul comes on. But I just want to, and I don't know if I could say the amounts. I know a few people told me not to say the amounts, so it's totally up to you guys. But I'm going to shout out, you know, I see these donations coming in. Christina, DJ Foxy, oh my gosh. Like, her show really touched my heart, you know, and there are so many shows that touched my heart watching all you guys. I've watched, you know, probably 90 shows. I think I missed 4 shows in total, just because I just needed to just sleep. I think I just crashed, but I watched close to 90 shows in 6 days. So I saw most of your shows, and I want to thank DJ Chris Cutt. Thank you DJ Chris Cut. People have been messaging me since this morning. I sent you a message on Instagram as well. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I reposted what you did. She had a show at, I think it was 2 a.m. I was trying to stay up yesterday, but I just couldn't. And DJ Chris Cut, she raised $315, guys, on her show. That's like truly incredible, you know, and it just shows the person and all you guys, you know, the people that you truly are, and just having giving hearts, you know. And I was just blown away this morning by that. So thank you so much, DJ Chris Cut. Is that your real name, Christine? I think. Yeah, it's Christine, right? We're so used to calling each other our DJ names or show names. So thank you, DJ Foxy, DJ Chris Cut, you know, just donated as well. I'll say her amount because she posted it, $315. DJ Ash G posted a few days ago, I believe over $100, which was amazing. We got Kirsten as well. I won't say your last names and the amounts if you don't want me to, so I'm just going to shout you out. Kirsten, thank you so much for the generous donation. They're coming in, and the organization is texting me right now. You guys definitely feel free to hit that donation tab. You know, definitely hit the tab. This is going to a restoration house for victims of human trafficking, Seeds Canada. It took me a long time to find an organization. I've done many fundraisers, but this one was extra special. John referred me to Laura Ross, which is the owner, and she has a heart for people. She has a heart for these survivors and these women, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want to just fundraise. I've done a million organizations over 20 years fundraising for, and I really wanted to find something grassroots. I actually even declined someone in Parliament, and I know some people right now, different organizations are tuning into my show right now. And also we have some people from Parliament that are tuned in right now to my show. They may not be in the chat room, but they're definitely tuning in. So big shout out to them. Spoke to a few people in Parliament. There was one woman that actually rescued 8,000 victims, and she worked with Air Canada, which is our airlines here. And she also worked with the RCMP, and she's also changed laws here. So it is possible. Don't think that one person, don't think that you can't make the change. I woke up, and I'm going to tell you that when Flo comes on, exactly what I had as a dream, a few dreams. And I know some people are going to think I'm crazy, but I got to speak the truth. And I'm going to tell you what exactly happened to me to get me on this journey. But I think it's beautiful that we got so many countries. I was trying to list them, you know, all the 94 streamers. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. We have like Canada with us right now. We have the States, United States with us. We have the Netherlands. We have Japan, Thailand, Australia. We have the UK with us. And those are just the countries I could think of right now at the top of my head, but I'm sure there's more. We have so many with us. So let's make a difference. Let's make a change. DJ Ash G, thank you so much for resubscribing to my channel, 8 months strong. We got Junior subscribing 12 months with me. So anything that comes to me is going back into the organization and also this event. So, you know, definitely hit the donation tab if you guys can. If you can't with the link, then if you got even bits or subs, if you have $1, if you have $2, $5, that all adds up. I know the organization last time I checked, and I think Laura Ross is listening right now. So if she has an update on where we are with the donations, just text me. I'm watching it. But right now, I think the last hour we were at $2,558. And then Foxy's contribution came in. Chris Cut's contribution came in. Kirsten's contribution came in. So I think I'm just looking quickly. We're probably a little over 3,000 right now. So thank you guys. Every bit helps, and know that this is going to a woman and children that have been survivors. You know, let's all do something together beyond ourselves. We have 44 people in this room. Now, I'm not calling anyone out, but I'm saying, you know, if you feel led to in this show, please give whatever you can, because it does make a difference. And I know we can make that difference together. And that is my true heart. And I know that's John's heart. And I know that's Laura Ross's from Seeds Canada's heart too, to create change. So I wanted to ask you, John, as well, going back to this, How much of a widespread problem do you think this is, especially in North America? Like, I know globally, but a lot of people think it's a third world country problem, but they don't realize that it's every hotel is booked. Every hotel that you pass by, guys, especially Ontario, I've learned recently, every hotel is booked with human trafficking. So, how widespread do you think this problem is in North America?
Yeah, it reaches virtually every community. Excuse me. We it's difficult to be certain about the numbers because the people where regardless of if you're in an area where prostitution is decriminalized and regulated or whether it's outright illegal, nobody's sending in their tax forms and claiming, who works for what pimp. But there are organizations that do study the different metrics that can give us a pretty fair idea. So the Walk Free Foundation estimates that there are somewhere in the range of 400,000 human trafficking victims in the United States, which is a huge number. And the numbers coming out of the United States are always far better than in Canada, where we really lack in gathering statistical information. But what we do know is that the demand for prostitution is approximately the same north of the border in Canada. And so by that, we could have as many as 40,000 victims in little old Canada.
Wow.
So the thing that's really, really heartbreaking is that most of the people coming into prostitution and either being lured in as human trafficking victims or quickly being trafficked once they get into it, most of them are young people. They're not adults. They're normally in the range of 14 to 17 years old. Sometimes they're younger, sometimes they're older. But this is a problem that really destroys the lives of countless young people, and we have thousands in Canada alone who are lured into this at the hands of human traffickers.
Now, what's the difference between human trafficking and human smuggling?
Yeah, so human smuggling, of course, is the movement of people, the illegal movement of people, usually across borders. And trafficking is the marketing of exploited people for profit. So that doesn't necessarily have to involve moving them anywhere. Could be a young lady from your town who is given a Uber ride over to a hotel 2 miles from where she lives, and she's exploited there. That's human trafficking. It doesn't necessarily involve her getting taken any great distance. But yeah, so that's human trafficking. It's it in most cases in North America, especially involves sex industry activities. So right now in Canada, according to Statistics Canada, which isn't a great source, about 97% of our human trafficking is sex trafficking in Canada. So, but that's how it happens.
Now, how many are, because obviously, I've been focusing on women and children, but there are boys as well and men that are trafficked and young boys as well. And I imagine it would be even more difficult for a man to speak up on different things. And, in terms of this, because you guys don't really have as many outlets as women do when it comes to communicating different things. But how many boys and men are actually trafficked? Like, how often does that actually happen?
Well, in a country like Canada, we're not really sure. We're just not seeing very much of it. And to your point, I think you're right that it may be harder for male victims to speak up or to identify themselves as being a victim. If you look at some of the countries in other continents, Thailand or Cambodia, that have a very strong pedophile sex tourism industry, you'll see a lot higher numbers of males and especially minor age males, boys, quite young, who are exploited there along with their female counterparts. In Canada, we probably it's about 1 in 10 prostitutes that are male, and we're just not seeing male trafficking victims come through our court systems. It's very rare when that happens. So it's almost none. It's statistically, but yeah, to your point, it may be slightly larger than we think it is, but that remains to be discovered.
Okay. Now you raised some great points as well. When we were talking a little while ago, you said some think human trafficking is far different from prostitution. So prostitution has become very accepted, and I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm still learning. It's just been pretty much a month for me learning all this information and really kind of digging and researching. So definitely correct me if I'm wrong, because you know a lot more than I do. But in terms of prostitution, they're trying to get it legalized here. And what are the dangers of having prostitution legalized? You also mentioned 13-year-olds old here in Canada prostitution, and are they the same, like human trafficking and prostitution, or are they very different?
Well, human trafficking is really the exploitation of people for profits, and whether that happens in prostitution or some other type of service or labor, it's human trafficking. But and there'll be some people who say that all prostitution is inherently exploitative and therefore it is human trafficking. I don't think we should take such a hard line on that, but from my observations, and I've worked with hundreds of young women who have been involved in the sex industry, the vast majority of them have been exploited by a third party for profit. So would technically qualify as human trafficking victims, whether that's during their entire period that they were in the sex industry or a briefer period during the time that they were in the sex industry. So it's very, very prevalent. It's not an anomaly that some people would like to tell you it is. It's very, very prevalent. Interestingly, and you mentioned the normalization of prostitution. And it does seem that in the past decades, prostitution's gone from a very stigmatized thing, to being more widely accepted. And we certainly see that in the attitudes of the young people. One thing we're finding is that the young people today often are saying, hey, I don't have a moral problem with prostitution because I'm sex positive. And so it's virtuous to have that open mind that transactional sex is, it's good if you can accept that, because that just shows that you're up to speed, you're with the times, and you have an open mind, and you're not like your parents. But we're seeing, young people who maybe don't date, don't party during their high school years, top of the class, great athletes, just kind of the ideal daughter that anyone would love to raise. And then they go off to college and enter this sugar dating world. And the sugar dating world, of course, tends to be older men who are financially secure and can almost keep a sort of young girlfriend on a retainer, so to speak, so that she can spend time in companionship with them. So it's ultimately the truest sense of the girlfriend experience for sale. And but it almost invariably does include the exchange of sexual services as part of that arrangement, which makes it prostitution, which makes it illegal in Canada and many other countries. And so we're seeing young people enter into that thinking it's not prostitution, it's no big deal. They say it's empowering. I'll make some extra money and I'll have fun. But we see young people coming out of that with all kinds of anxiety, not sleeping well at night, not being able to keep up with their studies, having mental health issues. And so it does certainly affect you. one of the families we worked with, their daughter headed into law school at one of Canada's most prestigious universities. Voluntarily went into sugar dating. By her third year, was being trafficked by an organized crime group, and we were just by the grace of God able to get her out of it. But it was a real eye opener, certainly to that family. But just to see how, when young people step into that sphere and they publicly advertise themselves as a courtesan, that certainly the human traffickers are watching. So yeah, it's become a lot more mainstream.
Wow.
I think that you had another question in there. What's the impact of legalized prostitution?
Yeah, and before we get to that question, I just want to welcome all the raiders. I thank you so much, DJ Melvs, for raiding into me. This is a different kind of special. I'm not sure if you were familiar, but I designed a 6-day raid with 94 female streamers. It took so much work, contacted 266 women. Now, can you imagine triple those messages? I've had about 1,000 messages. It's been insane. And we're going to talk about it the second half of the show. But for all you guys that just came in the room, this is John Cassells, and he's been fighting against human trafficking for many, many years. He's worked with a lot of survivors, and he's really knowledgeable in this area of the sex trade. And I know this is not usually a popular topic. We do fundraisers for breast cancer and heart and stroke foundation and all those type of fundraisers that people really know about. But with human trafficking, it's definitely dear to my heart. And, this month I was able to meet, a few survivors as well, and just hear pieces of their stories, and had one on my show. And that's something that really touches my heartstring too. And I think sometimes we have preconceived notions of what it is. I thought it was kidnapping and abduction too. Abduction. I had no idea what human trafficking was really all about. I had no idea that it could also be from good homes. You don't necessarily have to come from a broken home. It could start off, like John says, with a really good relationship, and trusting that person, and then kind of getting more into it. So, and a lot of victims, or survivors don't realize that they're being trafficked. They don't realize how dysfunctional this could be. So it's a little deeper today. The first hour, the second hour, we're going to bring my friend Flosoul on. And she's going to help me thank everyone, all the 94 streamers. So if you guys feel in your heart to give, the donation link is scrolling through right here. It's scrolling right here. If you guys feel in your heart to give, then definitely give, because this organization is really helping survivors. It's a restoration house. Laura Seeds is the founder, and she is working in a restoration house, building it for survivors. She's worked directly with them. She's worked with them for 10 years. And I know John and Laura have true hearts. And it's really hard to find an organization, not just to fundraise for, because I do a lot of fundraisers in the past DJing, but actually have a true heart for people. And it's just been incredible meeting you guys. So definitely hit the donation link, guys, and we're going to leave it open for about a month. So again, if you feel led in your heart, whatever you can do, give up your Starbucks coffee today, or maybe a $5, $10 dinner, and hit that donation tab, because you are really going to impact another woman and a child. You're going to impact their life, And again, I want to thank DJ Chris Cutt. I wish I was on your show yesterday. You're such a beautiful person. Every streamer, the 94 streamers, you guys are all beautiful, truly. I loved everything about your shows, and we're going to talk about that a bit more in the second half. But I wanted to thank you so much, and just for being so giving to this cause. So make sure you guys add, all the DJs, all the streamers in the room. Definitely going to shout you guys after in a bit. But right now I'm just concentrating on the conversation with John. So I hope you guys don't mind, but big shout out for DJ Chris Cutt giving the donation. Again, DJ Foxy for for having a heart for human traffic survivors, and for Kirsten that also donated during the show. And whatever you can give, whatever you guys can do, just know that it's going to be coming. It will come back to you tenfold. Whatever we do in life, that is our mission, you know. And maybe it may not be human trafficking. Maybe that might not hit you as much, but all of us are called to a purpose. So, you know, it could be racism, could be homelessness, it could be anything that angers you or keeps you up at night. And I keep mentioning this is for a reason. So if you get up and you're just like, oh, I don't like this injustice, or I don't like this happening, then guess what? You're supposed to get up and do something about it. And we all can. And I'm going to share the second half of the show, how this came about and how I didn't really feel like I could get involved with this myself, you know. But this just proves, doing this 6-day raid with almost 100 people, this proves that we can unite together globally. We've united many countries together, many different women, many different lifestyles, backgrounds, ages, what we believe in. And I know it's possible. And that's one thing I really wanted for this raid, not just a raid train, but uniting beautiful women together, that we could put aside, you know, anything that we may believe that is different, and we can actually unite together and do something for a better cause, and to help another woman, you know, to make a difference in her life. So that was my true mission for doing this raid. But we're going to talk a little bit later, because I do want to get back to John's questions. I know he's got a little bit of time left. So, you know, another question I had here was, let's see here. So you said, and I know you kind of touched base on it, but prostitution is illegal in the US. Actually, I didn't know this. I thought it was kind of like Canada, and Canada is a very liberal society for sure. But prostitution is illegal in the US except some parts of Nevada. And this is going to speak because there's a lot of Americans that I have in my room right now as well too. But what's the legal prostitution in Canada currently, and what are they trying to do, like to pass bills? And why would they want to legalize prostitution here, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Some of your viewers may remember Rhode Island also had legal prostitution. That ended, forgive me, I'm not exactly sure, about 15 years ago, I believe, because they ran into such difficulties with that. But our Canadian friends, you might be surprised to learn that prostitution up until 2014 was technically legal. So it was allowed under the law. There were some restrictions that did come into play. In 1985, it became illegal to solicit in public for prostitution. And the reason behind that wasn't for safety reasons at all. It was because it was considered a public nuisance. So we know prostitution's happening. We just don't want to see it. We don't want to see evidence of it happening in our cities. And so in 1997, it became illegal to purchase sex with minors. So up to that point, men my age, for example, could purchase sex as long as the age of consent laws were being adhered to. At the time, the age of consent for sexual activities was 14 years old. So men my age were legally purchasing sex from 14-year-old kids, most of which, of course, who were, you know, trafficking victims. But that was legal. There was a challenge because our prostitution laws were a little bit funny. And there was a challenge that came before the courts to say that perhaps our prostitution laws, the way they're written, are not constitutionally sound. How can it be legal and there being prohibitions against hiring a bodyguard or paying for a driver, or, you know, that sort of thing? And so our prostitution laws, some of the main ones were thrown out in 2013, and the Harper Conservative government, our federal government at the time, brought in new robust legislation to prohibit sexual services from being purchased. But really it was a blanket statement. It's a complex law that does say prostitution is de facto illegal now in Canada. But there are certain legal immunities given to prostitutes on the basis that they are understood to be likely an exploited person. So it is a little bit complex there. A lot of times polices and in some cases judges have even said prostitution is legal for the prostitutes, but it's not legal for the men who buy sex. And that's an oversimplification. But it is it is illegal under federal law, but it's really up to the provinces in Ontario. So we're a little bit different in how our legislation and enforcement is rolled out compared to the United States. But in Canada, we're under federal law, but it's up to the provinces to enforce. And the provinces have not really embraced this change in the legislation and have been very lackadaisical, both in their implementation, but also in their enforcement of the prohibition on buying sex.
Do you find that women get blamed more? Because I also heard that with the prison system, like it's like a slap on the wrist. This is why this is like $150 billion industry. You know, that's more lucrative than the drug trade, is to resell like women and children like over and over again, like I don't even know how many times a day, 20 times a day, would you say? Like, but I feel like you know, when they go to court, or is it just kind of a slap on the wrist for the trafficker, but the women usually gets the bulk of the blame, like in this industry? I'm not sure.
Well, certainly a few years ago, it tended in that direction. But as public awareness has been changing, and as judges and prosecutors have been much better educated on not just the complexity of this crime, but also just how it really impacts psychologically the victims of human trafficking. We've seen a real shift, and so there's been some great improvement. The tragic thing is we don't seem to be seeing the rate or the total volume of human trafficking cases dropping right now in Canada.
Wow. So, like, you deal with these women directly, you know? So what would you say? Because I feel like, you know, in society we have we have, you know, even with the music that we have. I just want to say, sorry, you guys, I saw a few donations that just came in. Thank you so much, Markeisha, for your generous donation, and also Jenny for your generous donation. Thank you so much, you know, for those donations coming in. Please hit that donation tab. Know that you're doing something more than yourself. Know that you're also helping, you know, human trafficker, you know, survivors, and you're blessing them, you know. And if we all did this in this room, there's like 53 people in this room right now. If every single person did something, you know, in this room, I'm going to leave it up to you guys, but if every single person donated, we could definitely get to the goal that, you know, we had set, for sure. And I want to also thank Nerd Chris. I don't know if she's in this room right now. I think she is. And I'm going to do more of the thank yous the second half of the show. But I want to thank you for the words that you gave me. I really appreciated that. And everyone else that has sent me private messages to get me just to stay encouraged and to keep going, and to know that even if, you know, even if even if you don't meet the goal, that's okay, because there's still more time. You don't have to have everything done in 6 days. And that's something that Nerd Chris told me, and it actually really spoke to me. So I really appreciate that. And just all the love, all the support. I couldn't have done any of this without you guys. I still feel like it's truly incredible that this is just not a raid to me. It's not a massive raid. It's not just uniting women together. It's something a lot more that I have had in my heart. And I will explain it the second half, but I just think it's incredible. All you guys have come together, close to 100 women coming together for the same cause in so many different countries, and probably over 10 countries with me. And I just, you know, my heart just feels so, you know, feels so grateful. And I want to thank all you guys. But Yeah, and just everything that you guys have done on your shows has been incredibly awesome too. So yeah, I think it's really good that we're at least spreading this awareness because a lot of people aren't familiar with human trafficking, and that's why I wanted to bring you back on again. Because it's not like the movie Taken, where there are incidences where you're kidnapped or abducted, but there's a lot of others. And I want to thank also the brave souls. There's a few streamers, and I definitely will not call them out, but there was a few streamers that private messaged me and said that that's happened to them. So you never know what someone's story is. And I always say you got to be kind and have compassion for people because you really don't know just by looking at them streaming. You may see an overly confident woman and you do not know what she's going through, and same with a man. You may see all these people on the gram and everything perfected and beautiful, but you really don't know what's going on in the hearts of people. So I was really surprised hearing some stories and some private messages. And salute to all the men that have come out on this raid and supported us. Salute to all the men, and salute to all the men that have messaged me. I got a few messages from Hawaii, from California, from New York. Some of them work in the police department. Some work for the narcotics unit in Hawaii. Some work at the border. They're border patrols, and they do shows on Twitch. And they all message me saying, Honey Flo, this is huge. This has happened a lot. Big shout out also to Pink Assassin. I love you, girl. Big shout out to you for sharing your story and being really open and honest about it. That really touched my heart, Pink Assassin. So I thank you for that as well. But we're going to get into thanking you guys, second half of the show. Also, another thing I wanted to ask you, John Cassells, and again, you guys, make sure you donate. Hit the donation tab. I'm not going to stop until it's flooded and until we bless more women, and children, because that's the main objective for definitely for this fundraiser. Is not ourselves. It's not about ourselves. It's about blessing someone else in need. And when you do that, and when you bless someone else in need, I promise you, it's going to come back 10 times to you, because that's just how it seems to work. So I just wanted to hear, do you know of any cases where legal prostitution has made things safer or decreased human trafficking rates as well?
Yeah. I haven't come across anything along those lines yet. Sonia, one of the people on this, what do you call it?
Oh, this is so funny. This is it's Twitch. It's Twitch.
Anyway, mentioned,
like, where am I?
in the range of 10,000 human trafficking victims right now being tracked in the Netherlands. The Netherlands, as you'll probably most folks would know, has they've been historically very, very lenient on the issue of prostitution. It was around the year 2000, roughly, that prostitution was officially legalized. It's been it's not gone very well. They are now closing down. They have been for a while, closing down, cutting back on the amount of retail space that is being designated for prostitution because of the volume of human trafficking. The former mayor is saying this has not gone well. We probably have about 9 out of 10 prostitutes here that are actually human trafficking victims. So I've been, trying to find exactly what you've suggested. Is there a system by which a society can allow a booming prostitution industry and yet keep the rate of violence against women low, and reduce human trafficking rates? And we're just not seeing it. For my conclusion is that prostitution is inherently exploitative. But when it's outlawed, like it is, for example, in Canada and most of the United States, it really has got to be prosecuted. It can't be normalized, and it can't be destigmatized. It just can't. And we as a society need to understand that most of the young gals who end up in it end up becoming victims of exploitation. But it's important to note that not all aspects of the sex industry are are illegal. So, for example, in Canada, our urban centers license strip clubs. So for exotic dancing, a lot of those strip clubs do permit or turn a blind eye to illegal prostitution activities right inside the club. But the stripping itself is legalized and regulated. And but so when we see gals coming out of a legal aspect of the sex industry that does not necessarily involve human trafficking for them, we're still seeing great mental health issues. And so it's really a peculiar thing to be in a society that's almost is fighting for a way of trying to legitimize this stuff and see the continued harm that it has on women and children. This is why what Laura Ross is doing. She's her organization is a charitable organization, so it's properly regulated by Revenue Canada agency, and so she's not really the owner. She's the executive director, and so she answers to a board of directors, and they are launching into something that is so important, because so many of these gals, when they come out of the sex industry, especially if they've been trafficked, they will have such a hard time just functioning, just to return to school or to go resume a legitimate source of income can be way beyond their capacity. And so it's so important that Laura has this home that will help restore these young people back to spiritual and psychological and physical health in the wake of what they've been through. So important. So I really encourage people to get behind that project.
For sure. So thank you again, Langley, for Langlouis, for those bits. I appreciate you, everyone that's bidding or subbing, or all the donations coming in. I'm just seeing from the organization, they're texting me. Thank you again, Markeisha. I know you mentioned in the chat room, that was you. We have Jenny that donated. Shaka, I won't say her last names or the amounts for privacy. I was in the beginning, but some people want to be private and others are okay with it. And feel free to mention the amounts if you guys are fine with, that you donated. Feel free to, because I know I'm missing some of these comments here. Thank you, Sonia, for the donation from the Netherlands. And of course, Shaka and Jenny, know that all of you guys right now are really impacting another woman and a child, And again, maybe you may not see where all that money goes to, but the fruit of what you do. Actually, what I'm going to do is I want to link up with Laura. Hopefully, maybe I may recoup a little bit after this raid train, because I've been on over 90 shows, like 4 hours of sleep. But I think I would love to connect with you guys, and I would love to take a video, or I know some things are kind of more private of the home, where it is for a safe house. But I would love to maybe interview her again and do a video and just see, the progression. And it was just so exciting bringing Maria on that she's worked with. She's worked directly with Maria, and she's just such a beautiful person, and I could tell that right away when she was on my opening show and sharing her heart and sharing her story and sharing what she's been through. And this woman, Maria, she said that she was with her boyfriend for 7 years, and he introduced her to it in year 3. So when people don't understand, sometimes people don't understand domestic abuse. I was like that too, with friends, frustrated, like, why don't they just get out? I don't get it. Like, it would frustrate me, especially when you love a friend so much and you see them in a domestic abuse situation and you can't pull them out and they need help, but then they keep going back, and it's this constant yo-yo effect, and there's nothing you could really do, and you try, but you just, and I had that situation with a close friend of mine. And so I kind of understand a little bit more that it's not black and white. There's a lot of gray areas, and when someone, loves you or gives you whatever you need or whatever that may be, it's a grooming process. And people need to understand, with a human trafficker, a lot of these victims don't think that they were trafficked at all. It's like a total grooming process, And so that's something to look out for. What are your thoughts on that grooming process, like that they kind of go through, John?
Well, yeah, most of the young people that I know of who have been lured into the sex industry haven't gone in to it on their own volition, wanting profits or wanting excitement or glamour. Most of them have been coerced, been lured into by a boyfriend, somebody that they think is a boyfriend who's, you know, really, planning to exploit them for profits all along from day one. And but for these young women, to have this kind of attention from somebody who's good looking, has a lot of gold around his neck, perhaps has a very shiny BMW or Mercedes Benz. A lot of these young women think they've hit the jackpot. They think they've entered a relationship that they never believed before would happen to them, and they feel so lucky and privileged. But it's very systematic. These pimps are following. They're following really a very detailed outline of how to drive a wedge between a young lady and her friendships and her family relationships, how to gain control over her psychologically. And some of these so-called pimp manuals are available on Amazon or other places online. So you can order and get tips from some of the more successful North American pimps. But in a lot of cases, the traffickers are involved in street level gangs and being essentially, mentored by a senior gang member who has a lot more experience.
Now, how dangerous is the sex trade? And did you actually know anyone that made it out alive when working with these victims?
Oh yeah. It's interesting.
Or who didn't make it? Who actually didn't make it?
Who didn't make it out alive? Yeah. There are some gals who don't make it out alive, but most of them do. But what we're seeing is that to make it through the recovery period is the biggest challenge. It's just when they're coming out with such deep trauma and they can't function. They've been psychologically stripped down, and they often get to this place where they think going back to the abusive boyfriend that beats her and has her service 8, 10, 12 men a night in scuzzy hotel rooms is probably a better option than continuing to go through the day-to-day pain of trying to recover and rebuild her life. And so we see a lot of that. We run a program for parents of trafficked girls. And you can just imagine if this happened to your own daughter, and where do you turn for help? And so it's a fairly new program, but we've had more than 80 parents come to us for support. And that represents about 64, 65 daughters who have been exploited. In the time period we've been running the program, about 10% of the daughters have lost their lives. So one was actively in the industry and was murdered. The others, it was during their recovery time, and there were suicides, accidental drug overdoses, and suspicious deaths as well. But that just goes to show that this is a very, very severe harm that is inflicted upon these young people, especially if they're trafficked. But even just generally, the impact psychologically to being in the sex industry for a long period of time dramatically impacts them.
Like, how many years or how long? How much do you think it would be to kind of rehabilitate someone, and maybe how many years do you think it would be? Yes. Oh, Cheech, I was going to say there's a donation link if you see here. It's actually running, it's scrolling. It's Seeds Canada. Oh, whoops. Sorry. It's Seeds Canada right here. If you guys could put !donate, I believe maybe, yeah, I just put it in the chat room as well. That's where you guys could donate to. And I just want to thank DJ DD Muir. I'm also checking my email. So if you see my eyeballs rolling all over the place, it's because I'm looking at 2 laptops, a phone, and emails and different things right now while I'm listening. So it looks like DJ DD Muir. Thank you so much, girl. I appreciate you. I don't know if she wants me to say her real name. So, she just donated as well to Seeds Canada, such a generous amount. Thank you guys so much. Let's impact more women. Let's impact more children. We could all make a difference. Drop your Starbucks coffee. Again, we have 50 people in the room right now. If 50 people just did whatever they could tonight, I know that we could bless more women. I know we could bless more children, and we could do it together. And we don't necessarily need a week or a month or 100 or 300 people. It starts with us. And again, maybe we're not in the trenches, but we could all make a difference. Thank you so much, Christina. I don't know if you guys could hear my dinging, but another donation just came in. Wow, this is amazing. Thank you, Christina, for your donation as well. Thank you for the generous donation to Seeds Canada. Know that all of you guys tonight and all throughout the 6 days are really going to bless another woman, and they're really it's really going to bless someone. And I see that. And I thank you guys so much. Forever grateful for that. I know Flo is supposed to come on. I was actually quickly sending her the link, but I actually don't see her. So are you still okay to continue as well? John, are you okay to continue?
I'm hanging in there. I'm doing okay.
Okay, you're okay. Okay. So organizations like Seeds, that help human trafficking victims recover and rebuild their lives. How many victims of human trafficking need these specialized services and support?
Well, we'll have thousands of victims of human trafficking in Canada alone exiting the industry every year. And most of them, I think, really do need this level of support. In reality, very few, a relatively small number, reach out. We're talking in the hundreds, and so, but that's a huge change from 15 or 20 years ago, when there was almost no support of this kind and no awareness. Virtually no awareness about the issue. So we're seeing that increase. And so more and more homes like Seeds Canada is providing will be filled and needed very much in the future.
Mm-hmm. Can you guys hear that dinging? I can't seem to get it off. It's my text message is dinging. So when people give me donations, there's a loud dinging in my ear. I don't know if you guys could hear it on Twitch. Let me know if you guys could hear that dinging. I didn't know how to shut that off. But I hear a few dings. So, and it's not my brain. Oh yeah. And Flo is coming right now too. She can't seem to get her link working, so she'll be on soon. So I'm just wondering, what could we do? I guess, because we always kind of, what can we do as a people? I think, this is such a huge global issue. There's over 40 million people in trafficking right now in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a couple 100 million I was reading that are under 18 years old that get married, that are forced into arranged marriages around the world. And that is human trafficking in itself too. You're underage, you're 13 years old, that sort of thing. So I'm just wondering what we can do as a global community. What are some options? Because I don't want to just give the negatives as well, but this is the reality. Even the Super Bowl, that's the highest paid event, which is crazy for human trafficking. There's close to 10,000 people that go to the Super Bowl, guys. So if the Super Bowl is in your city, 10,000 sex workers are going there that are part of human trafficking. That's massive. So something needs to be done. If that doesn't outrage people, I don't know what will, but that sure outrages me. And to know that these are women and kids, and and this is going on, and there's so many injustices with it that no one is doing anything. I shouldn't say no one's doing anything, but it just, I don't know, it just fires me up that I just want to do more. So with the Super Bowl and then also Walt Disney World. I don't know if you guys Googled. I want you guys to Google it. Don't take my word because I could very well be wrong with some stats, but Google it. Like even Walt Disney World, they caught over 100 workers involved with human trafficking. Like Atlanta, the airport, Ohio, and some of these states are major hubs for human trafficking. You know, it's really concerning that we have to be vigilant. Like, is there something that we can look out for with women? Like, say if you see someone at the airport or you see certain women, is there something that men, like both men in my chat room and women, can look out for that are signs that maybe someone's being human trafficked?
Well, there are, and you'll pick up on things that really don't look right. And in airports in the States, especially in Florida right now, there's more and more airports that have phone numbers in the stalls. So when the women come in, they do have the ability to know how they can reach out. Certainly, that's something you can do on somebody's behalf if they seem very young and they seem very under control. You'll see the signs, but you can certainly alert authorities. The challenge is so many of these young women really believe that they're with their boyfriend, and they are in the situation that is preferable for them, and their boyfriend is telling the truth when he keeps talking about the little house with the white picket fence and the family they're going to raise when they get through this difficult period of their their lives, raising the money to make that happen. So they're believing a dream that is certainly in most cases a very far-fetched falsehood, right? So but it's a complicated thing, and I want to answer, or I want to make mention of one of the questions I saw in the chat room, and there was a comment to say that some people do choose this. They do choose a life of prostitution, and that is true. There'll be people who do that and who are not trafficked, and I do want to acknowledge that. The fact that we see such a high level of human trafficking in this industry, for the people who are choosing it, and especially in countries for the people who are choosing it illegally, my conclusion is that they're contributing to an industry that exploits so many young people, and so they really are becoming part of the problem, whether or not they meant to or not. And so that's so difficult. But just to follow up on educating yourselves, this is a great first step to participate in events like this, where you get a general awareness. You're impacted perhaps by a survivor story. Go a little deeper. I know you have a lot of viewers from the States. There's a gal in New York City. She's originally from England. She was trafficked in Germany by her boyfriend. Her name's Rachel Lloyd. She has an organization in New York City called GEMS, GEMS. And she's got a great website, but she's got a book that you just have to read. I'll just warn you, it's pretty graphic. It's pretty hard to read, but if you think you can handle seeing the true picture of what she went through, but also how she built her organization just miraculously in New York City, and the great work she does, it is probably the most, I'm sure it's the most educational autobiography out there on this subject. Rachel Lloyd. And the title of the book is Girls Like Us. It'll change your life. It's just a brilliant book.
Yeah, that's what I'll definitely look at that. That sounds really, really interesting. I know Flo is trying to get in, so I'm listening to you and I'm trying to, I guess the link is not working. So I'm trying to get that working while I'm talking to you. So what would you say to people out there that, like, to be vigilant, of course, right? Because a lot of, if someone's maybe not making much eye contact with you, or maybe in their dress, or they look high anxiety, would you say, like, what would be some of the things to really watch out for when you're looking at some of these women, just to know?
Just to spot human trafficking.
Mhm.
I think there's a lot of emphasis put on this.
Mhm.
just, the way they dress. They literally will go through an identity shift when they step into the sex industry, whether they're coerced in or whether they step in of their own volition. But they'll change the way they talk, the way they walk, the way they dress. Their attitudes will change. Everything will change. And so you will be able to spot that, well, they really look like a genuine prostitute, right? Here's the reality. We put a lot of emphasis on knowing the signs and figuring out how we're going to rescue them. They rarely want to be rescued until they hit that point where they don't care if they live or die. They are now at their point where they're ready to speak to police, who they've been conditioned to not trust. With all these parents who come to our Parents Hope program for support, they say, John, can you reach out to my daughter? Can you just convince her of, that she's in a bad place and she needs to come home? And, we look and we watch and we pray for those opportunities where there's a crack in that trafficking relationship. And then we try to get in there and we coach the parents on when they have contact, the kinds of things they can be saying. But it's a process. It's very, very difficult. You think, well, obviously they don't want to be trafficking victims. They're going to be glad when the police show up. They're telling the police 99 out of 100 times, F off, I'm fine, get out of here. Right. And that's the reality. So it's much more complex. And so, continue to deepen your understanding, read up on it. And I can certainly pass along to DJ Honeyflow other recommendations for education as well.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. I'm just reading some of these comments. I'm also trying to send Flo this link right now. She cannot get in. So if anyone understands with StreamYards, let me know. I think I might need some help. I keep forwarding her this link. Oh, there we go. I think she's in. Oh, thank God. Okay. Sorry, guys. If my eyeballs were shifting, it's because I was like frantically. And can you guys hear the dinging? Because there's a lot of dinging going on. I don't know if you guys could hear the dinging coming in, but
it's not loud. It's not loud.
But you could hear it. Yeah, it's definitely coming in. She's messaging me and I'm getting donations coming in. So again, I want to thank Heather for the generous donation, Christina today, Sonia, Shaka. I may not know all your DJ names in there, so feel free to say you donated in the chat room. If you want to make it public, that's totally fine. If not, you want to keep it private, that's not a problem either. I'm going to be, but the chat will see. I am missing a lot of the chat tonight because I'm trying to focus on this conversation. But yeah, thank you so much, Heather, Christina, Sonia, Shaka. We have Jenny, Markeisha. Oh my gosh, you guys, thank you so much. We have Christine, DJ Chris Cut. I believe that was DJ Chris Cut. Man, that girl raised a lot on her show last night. $315, guys. Chris Cut. Thank you so much, girl, for believing in this cause and coming alongside me, along with all the 94 streamers, all the women here that have come along side of me. Thank you guys so much. We have Christina that just came in, earlier. DJ Foxy, her show really touched me tonight. And Kirsten. Actually, there's so many shows I could, and we're going to talk about it when Flo comes on. But are you guys hearing the dinging? Oh, great. I can't shut this dinging off. I'm sorry. It's driving me crazy. And it just started during my show. So you guys are going to hear it. But when you guys hear the dinging, that means that's a good thing. Well, some of that was Flo's messages dinging me saying I can't get in. But the other dinging is also the donations. So maybe I'll leave the dinging on because we want as much dinging as possible. We want it going ping, 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 ping. We want that because we definitely want to bless another woman, guys. This is truly, it's definitely not about us. This raid train was not about us. It was not about Twitch. It's not about being on a large raid train. It's not about the things that we, that we're striving for. It's about so much more. It's about blessing another woman in need. It's about blessing a survivor. Sometimes you think your situation is bad, and you don't realize that there's someone else that has a worse situation than you. you know, and I'm going to talk about some of the dreams I had with flow and how this all came about. But sometimes I may sit in my situation, oh, I lost my job in quarantine, oh, this happened. And you may sit a little bit, you know, in your own situation, or maybe a little in self-pity, and then you speak to these women that are survivors, and you speak to some of them, and you think, man, like my situation's nothing compared to theirs. Like I'm so freaking blessed right now. You know, I could go home, I can still be on my savings, I can open up my fridge and have food, and I'm listening to these women's stories, and I can't even imagine, you know, some of the horrendous abuse and some of the things that they've gone through, and being in hotel rooms, and, you know, having to get payment, and maybe being with 20 men a day. And I know this sounds graphic, but it's the truth, you know, and having someone just throw the money at you like you're a piece of, that you're not insignificant. You know, I don't know what that would do to a woman's soul, but I know that that makes me realize that there's more people in need in the world, and it's above what we're going through. And when we bless others, that blessing comes back to you, and whatever you can give, because I know it's been a tough season. It surely has been a tough season for me on Twitch, but I'm pushing through, and I know who I serve, and I know, you know, that, you know, what I serve definitely opens up doors, you know, and he truly opens up doors for you and does incredible things and takes care of you. And I know that he's going to do that for each and every one of you guys tonight, whether you believe or have faith in anything or you don't. But I just want, you know, people to really realize and just open up their hearts tonight, and whatever you guys could do to give, you know that it's going to really impact a person's life. And Laura and John, these people are the right people. You know, I honestly feel like you guys are an answered prayer. I'm not even kidding you. Like just with the vision that I had, and the people I want to be around, and the people that have true hearts and compassion for people, like I really feel like you guys were. And you know, this is not something I've even discussed with friends or people even on Twitch. I just decided to go for it and do it, you know. And alongside 94 streamers, I don't think you guys have really realized what you've done. I don't even think you guys have really realized the potential, or what you guys have done on this train, like truly, you know. So anyways, I just want to thank you guys again, Heather, Christina, and just all the love and all the support tonight. I can't wait till Laura uses this and just blesses. I can't wait to actually see what's going to happen from this, you know? So thank you guys so much. Is there anything before I let you go, John? Is there anything that you can give that could be encouraging? Like, I don't know if I know you have worked with survivors that have definitely come back on their feet and have done great things, but is there anything you could think of that's encouraging? Because I know it's kind of some tough stats that we've been talking about tonight, but is there anything that you could think of a story of someone or someone you've worked with that has really, you know, kind of changed her life for the better too?
Well, we have a lot of stories. The team that I've been assembling to work with the young women include survivors who have just been miraculously changed and healed, and you know, they so desire to give back, and it's just a testimony to the power of that people can have to give back, and how their faith in the Lord plays such a pivotal role in that. This is a battle that's going to continue on for quite some time. The United Nations and the World Health Organization do not understand this issue very well at all, and are giving some advice that based on the studies, the academic studies that we're seeing from around the world, you know, seem wrong. They seem to be in support of legitimizing sex industry activities, but just the human toll that comes out of that is really staggering. And so, I mean, we see miracles almost, you know, every week in our little project, and yet we continue to see such devastation. So it's a subject that needs a lot more attention, and I want to thank you, DJ Honeyflow for bringing it to the forefront during the past week or so that you've been doing these shows. And thank you for everybody here and your care and commitment to this issue.
Thank you so much. I'm just looking actually for your link here. I don't know if it's popping up in the chat because there's so many messages I haven't gone through yet.
Well, Laura Ross and her link, seedscanada.org, that's the one you really want, seedscanada.org. Mine is lifeworthy.ca, so you can check us out as well. Yes,
so you guys see what I mean? Okay, lifeworthy.ca. I'm just typing it in. So I want everyone, if they get a chance, this man is like literally sacrificial. Like I called John up initially. I was gonna initially fundraise for John, guys, and I want everyone in the room adding this guy because I think John is truly an incredible person, and I'm not even just saying that because what organization decides to say, hey, I'm going to pass you alongside someone else for your vision, and I'd rather have you fundraise for someone else. So if anyone wants to bless John in the room, definitely go to his I don't know if you have a donation link, but lifeworthy.ca, right?
Yeah, there's a donation page there, and it'll reroute you to SIM Canada. But Seeds is the up and coming project, and especially needs a little extra financial support right at this time to get that house open and caring for the girls. Yes, so we're going to definitely do something in the future, John. Like, maybe my next fundraiser, I could work with you to do something with you as well. But yes, the mission is Seeds Canada. But I just want everyone to check out John Cassells. He's incredible, and he's doing something above himself. And you really have inspired me. Like you really have, So, well, yeah, Thanks so much for having me. It's been my pleasure to be part of it. Yeah, sorry about that. Getting emotional now, but I just want to say you and Laura, and it's just been an incredible ride the last month. So I just want to thank you, and I hope we could be in touch, and we can definitely, do more to help bring awareness and, just make a difference in this area too. That sounds great. But you're a true inspiration. So for sure. So thank you so much, John. And we'll definitely be in touch too as well. Wonderful. All right. Okay. Take care, John. Yeah. Bye. All right. Now. Bye. Hey, Flo. Oh my gosh. I'm just getting emotional already.
It's beautiful though. It just shows who you are. You know what I mean?
Like an emotional link. I just think I just think he's just such a beautiful person. I just think he's incredible. And you don't meet too many. I'm not going to say I don't want to say men because there's so many great men out there, but just what he's doing in the trenches and how he's helping so many people, I just think is really, really beautiful, and you can't help but not get emotional. And I'm just going to blame it on no sleep, no eating or drinking barely in the last.
Don't blame it. No, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It just shows your heart and how you care and how you want to make a difference and just the incredible, like beautiful human being you are inside out. And as it is an honor for you to know him, it's an honor for me to know you. I love knowing people such as yourself who are so moved, like authentically, not just like, oh, I want to do this. Just the way it touches you emotionally is a sign that this means something to you and that you care for other human beings. There's just so many people out there who just like care for themselves and how do I get ahead? How do I, do this or that? And here you are like, your heart just makes my heart melt. And I'm just like, yes,
I have to zoom myself out, man. I'm going to look like a hot mess.
Oh, stop. It's beautiful. And it touches us. And I'm just so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad to say I know someone like you. And it warms my heart. So don't apologize for that. I think it's actually a very beautiful thing. And it's very real. And
whoops. I think I still have John backstage. Whoops. I think he can. Oh, okay. He could stay backstage if he wants, or he could watch a show through Twitch. I still see John backstage, so it's up to him if he wants it. He could stick around backstage, or he can Actually, maybe I'll bring him in for one more minute just so he knows, because he didn't even know what app he was on. He's like, what is this? He's like, what app is this? Like, he doesn't know, which is kind of funny. Hold on one second. I'm going to bring him back on.
For sure.
Hey, John, I was just going to say, it's up to you. You don't have to stay backstage. I see you backstage there.
Yeah, I just wanted to see Flo. I didn't know who you were talking about.
Hi, John.
This is Flosoul, and I've known her in my home city. If there's one person that knows me the most in this room, is Flo.
Okay.
We grew up in the same city, and now she's an aspiring. Well, she's not just aspiring; she is a singer. She's opened up for Boys to Men and 112 and Lauryn Hill and Drew Hill. Sorry, I gotta always plug you, Flo.
Oh, she's amazing. Seriously, she's so multi-talented.
She's pursuing her career in singing in LA. So if there's any producers in the room, make sure you guys add Flosoul Music. She just signed on to Twitch. She just performed yesterday for the very first time. So yeah, but
wow.
I was going to say, John, don't feel you have to stay backstage. You can if you want, but you could always watch through Twitch as well. But
I'll do that. But I want to check out Flo before I left, and I'll be checking you out online, Flo. That's fantastic.
Oh, thanks, John. And for DJ Honey Flo to say such incredible things about you and to be moved by you, I know that you must be an amazing man, and especially what you stand for. So it's a pleasure and honor to meet you, because I know that DJ Honey Flo, she's pretty incredible. So for her to be moved by someone and by the efforts of someone, I know that I'm in the presence of, greatness. So I just want to thank you for all that you do.
Well, yeah, DJ Honey Flo really is a great gal, and you know what? There's a bunch of us out there in the trenches who are trying to work on this issue, but we're all just trying to do our little bit. And I'm so humbled. I mean, men, as I mentioned before, are really the root cause of this human trafficking problem throughout North America. And so it's quite humbling, and what a privilege to be able to be a man and to have some small role in making a difference. So it's great to be here, and great to see what you guys are doing.
Yeah, so Twitch is not too bad. Maybe you and Laura, I'll convince you guys to do a Twitch channel. I think you would be great. I think you would be great. I think you should seriously do one, like, you know how to talk to people, so you may as well try it.
Yeah, we'll consider that. Thank you.
Hey, John, right. Never say never, because if she can convince me, she can convince anybody. Let me just tell you that.
She's quite a gal, yeah.
That's
she's
why
something.
I think Twitch should hire me. Twitch or Amazon should be hiring me, man.
Yeah.
Twitch, if you're listening, just a little plug here.
I know, eh?
The lady to hire.
On here.
It's awesome.
Anyway, I'll let you two get back to it, but so good to meet you, Flo. God bless you and all you're doing. Okay, bye for now.
All right. Take care, John. We'll
Bye,
definitely
John.
be in touch. Take care. Yeah.
Clarky and Tilt 247. What is up? I see you in the chat. My people.
Now we can start doing shout outs in the chat. So go ahead. I talked a lot enough. You could go ahead, give some shout outs.
No, keep talking. No.
Give some shout. Go ahead. You guys, I was so proud of Flosoul. So, you should switch your name to Flosoul Music so they could add you on Twitch now.
Oh, Honey Flo.
You should love it. You got to switch your name, Flosoul Music. But anyways, make sure everyone add Flosoul Music on Twitch. I want to get her affiliated. She now has 15 followers.
Amazing. I love you. Honey Flo.
She just started yesterday, guys, and I want to get her up to 50. So there's 44 people in the room. Add her. She's such a beautiful person. And we're going to try to get her affiliated so she could start singing. I was messing with her yesterday, guys. Xtina says, I'm already following Flosoul.
Xtina, girl.
Yes. Can you throw up the link? Oh, here's the link. The link's right here.
Thank you so much.
You got a powerhouse
All of
woman in the
you.
room, DJ Class 6. Make sure you guys add DJ Class 6 and all these beautiful women.
Ooh,
But
DJ Class 6, what's up?
yeah, she just made partner, so she could definitely bring.
What? We need to celebrate that. Okay, so everybody who's made partner or affiliate, just do something in the chat, because this is a celebration of Honey Flo's vision, her hard work, towards making a difference. But let's celebrate all the good, right? So for those of you who have made partner or affiliate and have participated in this 24/7 raid and all, let's just celebrate tonight. You know what I mean? Like, life is too short. Life should be good. Let's celebrate. So what's up to those who've made partner and affiliate? Congratulations. And congratulations to you, Honey Flo, for making it through, baby girl.
Oh my gosh. I barely made it through, and we are going to talk about all the funny things, guys. There's been a lot of funny things too, but like, we'll talk. Well, I could bring up some funny things now, and I'm already seeing some people following you. We got DJ Foxy throwing up some hearts, DJ Class 6. How you doing? And I want to thank you as well.
Come on.
See, Flo's going to bring the energy that I can't bring, so she's going to bring the energy.
Please.
She just said she just followed you, so there you go. You got 16 followers now. Twitchies, you better follow. You better follow my girl Flo. DJ Kilo, thank you again for the donation earlier.
DJ
she just said she followed you. Now you got 17 followers. Come on, guys. I can't even calculate, maybe 40 more to go. So make sure you guys add. But some funny things that have happened, Flo, is yesterday I was trying so hard to stay up for Chris Cutt's show. I'm like, only 20 minutes. I could do this. And I've literally been on 90 shows. Like, we've probably had a total of 98 shows, because I was trying hard to get in new streamers. So I didn't want to keep repeating people that have been on as well, because I was like, I had a huge list, a cancellation list I made to throw in new, to bring in new women, because I really wanted them showcased as well. And I want to make this very clear. I tried inviting everyone to the table. I really, really did. I contacted 266 women, guys. 119 said yes, and 94 actually signed up. So I ran with the 94 that actually committed and signed up. And then I kept trying to message the same people, and it was just beginning to be a lot of like hundreds of messages. So I had to kind of stop at some point and just roll with the people that said yes to me and just keep moving. But I just want to let everyone know, and please pass this message on to others. Definitely not intentional, not including others. I know I got a few messages from some other women, maybe disappointed or upset. And I want to make it very, very clear that I tried my best to invite everyone at the table. I did have strict guidelines for this raid, because this wasn't a normal raid to me. It was, I contacted people in Parliament. I've also contacted a lot of other organizations to be watching this. So they may not be in the chat room, but I can definitely let you guys know that they have been watching your shows, So when you contact people that actually call you back from Parliament that are much larger than you, there's certain guidelines and things that I also have to do, right? So I appreciate all the women that have respected that, because again, this wasn't just a normal raid to me. People in Parliament I contacted, they rescued 8,000 victims and survivors through Air Canada, our airlines out here, and through the RCMP. So it's a big deal. Like, some of the people that I contacted actually changed laws. Like, in history, they've changed laws in Canada. And I was actually going to run with their organization, but I decided that they probably receive multi-million dollars. Like, they receive a lot. So for me, I decided to switch it, regardless of how, because when you work with people in Parliament, they're huge, right? Like, who wouldn't want to work? That's like working with, like, I don't know, the biggest streamers on Twitch. Who wouldn't want to work with that? But I actually declined it in order to commit to Laura's foundation, because that's how much I believed in her. So to me, it wasn't a matter of, hey, let me get the grandest or biggest. It was a matter of, I really want to find a grassroots organization. I want to find an organization that's in need of help. So I looked up like maybe 20 organizations, and a lot of them get funding out here, like millions of dollars into this area. So I decided to go with someone that I knew worked directly with these women and wasn't just going into schools and talking about it, but actively working with these women. And awareness is great, but I think a lot of times we fundraise a lot of awareness, but there's not so much action. So I wanted an organization that was grassroots. So I actually declined one person in Parliament, believe it or not, to go with Laura Seeds. This is how much I believe in this mission. So I just want to make it very clear that everyone was invited to this table. But again, I needed also people to respect the guidelines of this raid. And I know there were a lot of tight guidelines, but I really respect all you guys for having that respect for me on this raid train, because this was a bit different. And there's certain shows I just couldn't bring on, just with the content, I just couldn't, like, especially when you're fighting against something that is sex trafficking and is so complex. You want to make sure that your messages are aligned with what your vision is and what you believe in. So I hope you guys understand. And you guys could have, and if I missed anyone, they could have also shot me some emails as well, because I'm only one person and there's 2 million streamers on Twitch. That's a lot of women to get through. So
wow.
I couldn't get to everyone. I tried, and I missed people too,
Yeah.
But yes.
Well, are you ready for me to turn the tables around and ask you the questions? I'm excited to ask you questions from
yeah, sure.
Or did you want to do thank yous first?
I think we should definitely thank people because they've been around here. They've definitely been in this chat for a while. So I wanted to get to really all the thank yous. Yeah.
Do you want me to do that, or were you wanting to?
Yeah, I think you're good to do that, and I could jump in. Yeah.
Let's do it.
I got my pages. I got all my pages here.
Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the thank yous. Okay, so bear with me if I butcher or mispronounce names. Be kind to me. So let's do this. Okay. Thank you to the following amazing people. Hello, it is meal prep. Thank you. Thank you to Krish 11. Thank you to La Bellatini. Thank you to DJ Creamy. Thank you to Shy Tai or Shay 42. Thank you to HB the Boss. Thank you to DJ Hot One. DJ K Nikki. DJ Mai Tai. Thank you to this girl X Tina. Thank you to Forever Seeps. DJ Wizkiss. Yeah. Mona Lisa 7872, DJ Mary 808, DJ Elsie, Bright Eye Sunflower. You guys are the coolest names. Can I just say that? Laney _star. Thank you to DJ Hannah Rad, Flossy DJ. Yo, I love it. Thank you to JB Wright 77, to Skylight Candles. Thank you to Jay Bright 77.
JB Wright.
Okay.
Wright.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So I'm going to need some of that help here. Thank you to JB Wright 77. My bad. Thank you to Mira Mesa. Ooh. Thank you to Marquesa Music. Ebony ATL, to Pink Assassin 74, Digital Diva TV, Mama T Nels, DJ Q Boogie. Thank you to Woman Unsilenced, Space Taco 3, to Miss Doodles DJ, to Joe So Fab. I love these names. To Inch High 73. Thank you to Lady G, to Lily K, to Chazzy Licious is Cooking, to Lavonda Rocks, to DJ Made Us Spin, to Special Says, to Nightmare ON2, to Nerd Chris, to BB Joy, to DJ Ash G, to Dr. Dady Priest, to DJ Fox C, DJ Fox Shareheart. Yeah, I hope I got that right. Thank you to Diva 929. To Blade is Truth. to mysterious DJ. Yeah.
Oh,
Thank
DJ
you.
Foxy. DJ Foxy. That's
Oh,
okay. That's
oh,
okay. Keep it
sorry.
going. Keep
Okay.
it going. Keep
Thank
it
goodness
going.
you're there, honey
She's
Flo.
helping me, guys. She's helping me.
Thank you to DJ Summer Soft, to DJ Class 6, to DJ I27 or DJ I7, okay? To Beauty 44,
For
to
you. Beauty for you.
thank you, Beauty for you. Thank you to Twinka Booter.
I can never get this girl's name right.
Twinka Bowder.
Twinka
Bowder,
Booter?
1965.
We just call her Twinkie, I think.
Oh, I love it. Thank you, Twinkie. Thank you, Twinkie. Thank you to DJ Dee Dee Muir, DJ Lily C. Rose, DJ Jillian X. Thank you to DJ Yuko. No, thank you to I am DJ Yuko. My bad. To Miss Diva, Portia Live, DJ Run DV. Dang, my bad. Thank you to DJ Jen, Musique Beast, to Nikki on Vegas, DJ React. To Miss DJ Tone, to Mishy Cakes. Okay, we're gonna continue to Space Mita, to DJ Molly Party, to Crazy Berry Town, to Mishmish 8, to Jazz Nasty 1, to Sonia, to Metro Sessions. Thank you to DJ Sunny Day, DJ 360, to Izzy Music or
Icy Music. You're doing great.
Icy Music.
Yeah.
Thank you to Hold Me CLSR.
Hold Me Closer.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
My God. Wow. I'm
butchering.
Thank you to Hold Me Closer. DJ Miss Classy, Shelby Nicole Cosplay. Yeah. To Loca Mommy. To DJ Kilolo. To DJ Chris Cut. Chris Cut L. Or Chris Cut. Thank you to DJ No Spinna, to Stay Lifted 2021. Yes, I love it. Thank you to Brown Whiskey Woman. Thank you to Nerd Chris, to Nicole Knight Official, almost there. Thank you to M2 M Square.
Or Ms. Sorry, she can't read my writing, guys.
That's my
can
bad.
Scratch a lot of it here. It's my bad. Ms. DJ Tone.
Oh, thank you to Ms. DJ Tone. Okay,
yeah,
so all of y'all, give yourselves a hand of applause or a pat on the back, whatever you prefer. Yes. Thank you for the work that you put in. Like big ups to you. Like,
wow, you guys. Wow, you guys. I just got an update right now. This is crazy. We're at 39.38 for donations. 39.38. So, I know we can get to 4,000 tonight before this ends. Heck, I will do a 24-hour stream right now. I will not shut off my StreamYards, Actually, maybe you guys don't make
her do that. She needs sleep. Okay.
I know. I definitely need sleep.
Let's reach up before then, because she needs sleep.
Yeah, that's why I got Flo to say all the names as well. I just need a bit of help today because I haven't been feeling at my best this whole week. So I've been just trying to push through. But I just want to let you guys know we're at 39.38. If you guys feel in your heart to continue to give, hit the donation link. It's in my chats. It's running. Hit the donation link. Let's bless another woman. Let's do something bigger than ourselves. Yeah. Let's just bless as many women as we can tonight. And I just want to let you guys know, there was someone that messaged me, and it's incredible. It was a bit embarrassing for me. I'm not going to lie, but I just started crying on the Hal show. And I don't know if it wasn't, it was probably because of lack of sleep too, but I just started crying on his show and just sharing. And I don't know where this is going to go tonight, but there was someone that messaged me, and I won't say the company she works for or her name, because I don't know if she wants it publicized, but it was a pretty big company. And she said that, she'll send this email for Laura's foundation to the staff there. And I guess they match donations, or they give donations or something like that. I don't know if the company matches. So say if they give $30, I don't know if the company matches, or they do some type of donation thing in her job, and she works a corporate job. So it was just another way to think outside of the box, because my goal was to get to 15,000. It was to get to 15K. But that's okay. We did as much as we could together. And I'm so proud of everyone together on board with me with this mission and trying their best. And, human trafficking is not a popular issue whatsoever. It's not like a breast cancer fundraiser or heart and stroke or, other fundraisers we do. Human trafficking is very taboo. A lot of people don't talk about this, but this is my heart's mission. So she said that she's going to send the email to her organization and whoever wants to donate there. So I love that nerd Chris said, "Hey, Honey Flo, it doesn't have to be done in 6 days. You could keep continuing and keep trying and don't feel that put so much pressure that things have to be done in 6 days, but you could keep it going and you never know what blessings or what things are going to unfold for you when you keep continuing." So I want to keep continuing this. Spread the links if you guys can. Spread Seeds Canada link to as many people as you can. If you do have an organization that does that, or you talk to your managers in your organization, it's thinking outside the box. That's something I didn't even think of, but I know we used to do certain things like that and initiatives in the company I used to work for. So I know it's possible. So yeah, spread the word in your companies. You never know, because my mission is to definitely want to bless as many people as I can. So I just want to thank you, to all the 94, actually it's 96 now streamers. I want to thank you guys truly from the bottom of my heart. Like, I want to thank you guys because I couldn't have done any of this without you. And it's definitely been, maybe I'll zoom out if I get emotional. It's been like a definite ride. It's been a journey. And I just want to say a few mentions. I'm not going to be able to mention everything about everyone on every show tonight. That's 100 people. But when I get back on Twitch, probably going to give it a little bit of break for a little while. But when I get back, I think I'm going to actually do more than a few shows and talk about what I saw on every single show of yours. So I'm going to get to every single show of yours and talk about every single one of you guys. But again, I definitely will be up 24 hours if I do talk about every single woman. But I have a few mentions that I definitely want to mention to you guys. I feel like I'm doing the awards. Maybe I should be at the Grammys, Flo.
Hey, don't even get me started. But yeah, love it.
I definitely want to start off with, my mods. Like, I don't think you guys even understand how much work, my mod Mimi Berry, LDN. And if you guys need graphics, she's not here tonight because she's in the UK and she's probably sleeping, but I know she'll catch the replay. So put an amazing message for her tonight so she could read them. I want the chat room flooded with messages to her for all the graphics, all the work she did, all those emotes that you guys are throwing up right here. Mimi Berry designed that last minute. She designed the overlay. She literally took 100 pictures, guys, cropping in 3 weeks. That's all me and her were doing together. I was trying to get 100 pictures from you guys. Do you know how much work that is? I think if you're a graphic designer, you understand. But she literally, her vision was to put all you guys in diamonds. So that's the vision that Mimi Berry had. I said, well, why don't we just overlap all the women? It would be easier just on a flyer, like put them all overlap. She's like, nah, how about we put them in diamonds? You know how much work that is to put guys and then take your backgrounds out and put you in pink diamonds and try to move the pictures around because a lot of them weren't really working. That's why you saw some of them with pink backgrounds because she couldn't get everything in. It took a lot of time. Like Mimi Berry, I'm telling you guys, like, I want to bless that girl so much because she literally did this for free, guys. Like, she literally came to me and said, hey, don't worry about it. I know your situation. Now I'm going to get emotional. She's like, I know your situation and like, I'll do it for free for you, and it just takes a lot of work, a lot of effort. And for someone that has such a big heart, she's got such a huge heart,
So do you.
Yeah. But she's helped me so much. She's heard all my complaints. She's heard all my highs and lows. Like, she's literally heard everything. I've literally talked to my mods more than my own family and friends, like in this season, And for someone that has never met you, and I know you guys can relate to this on Twitch, but someone that has such a giving heart for people, and she's willing to do this all for free. And she literally spent an entire month, like every single day from her job, rushing home And you guys have seen just a portion of my emails, and they may seem a little boot campish, and I didn't really mean for it to be boot campish, but once I go into overdrive, I'm like, okay, we got to do this, we got to do that. Like I go in overdrive, you know. So I hope my emails didn't sound too abrupt, but I literally go into overdrive when I care about something. But poor Mimi Berry, she was bombarded with emails from me and us going back and forth. So if you guys get a chance, you know, like write something nice. If you loved her emotes, you loved her graphics, loved what she did with all the pictures, definitely throw something nice about Mimi Berry in the room. I want to make sure that, you know, she sells graphics at a very, very low cost. She's got such a giving heart. She's done tons of emotes for large streamers and small streamers. And I want to give her props because there's just not enough words for her. Like she came up with the idea. She visualized it when I couldn't, and she worked it all out. And I'm just dumbfounded the amount of work that she put into this. So if you guys could all add Mimi Berry LDN, that would be amazing. Mimi Berry LDN. If you guys see her in these Twitch streets, give her a compliment, say something nice to her. If you need graphics, definitely hit her up. She may need a break. She may need a break from Honey Flow. I'm not gonna lie, She may need a break from me. I also wanted to thank Clarky as well. She's another mod of mine in my room. Like, everyone knows Clarky. Clarky's right here. Clarky 2020. She deserves so much props too. Clarky has been my day one. She literally has helped me with anything I've needed. You know, she's always willing to jump in, always willing to help. She updated all the flyers. I think I was driving her crazy with all the 100 names and different. It takes a lot of work to do, right? And she was trying to jump in and update and help as much as she could. And she's always there. She's always willing to step in. She's always willing to give me advice. She's like, I call her my coach. You know, Mimi Berry's like my boss, and Clarky is like my coach. That's what I call her. And I love these women because they've really encouraged me for times where I just wanted to give up, even on Twitch. You know, it's like they really just encourage me to keep going. So, you know, big up to Clarky as well. You know, it's just been a pleasure getting to know you. And she's from Barbados, and she moved here to Toronto as well. So we had, you know, a few times where we could see each other as well. But, you know, I consider her a friend, and I've talked to her every day, you know, more than, again, my friends and family. And then of course Junior, he goes MIA, aka Method Man. He's another mod of mine. But just, he's been my day one too, and he's from Alabama, and I know he's not in the room right now, but I want to thank him for just, you know, being my day one. It's been nothing but laughter in our room. And he always jokes with me. He always lightens the mood. He's very laid back. I always try setting him up with women, as many, because I really have, you know, I really value him a lot, you know, like a brother. And that's what he's become to me, you know. So I'm like his mini security guard.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she says Junior is awesome, and he'll say stupid things to me, like he wants to meet a woman in aisle 2 that is a sugar mama and can provide for him and has low self-esteem. Like, he'll say things to me that just tick me off, but he does it on purpose. Like, he knows that bugs me, right?
Yeah.
I've been trying to set him up with Shay Tay. Krish 11 apparently is trying to get at him too. So there's a huge love triangle in my Honey Flows room. So come, you'll see the love connections. But I want the best for Junior, and I really believe that regardless of the things he says to me, I believe that he's a great person and a great man. And, you know, and once he finds love, I believe that he's going to change a lot. And I can't wait to see that, you know. Twitches says 50-year-old woman, Junior's requirements. Yeah, I think he's in his late 30s, guys. He's half Jamaican, half Spanish. So that's quite a great mix. So just letting you guys know. I also wanted to thank the temporary. So I did a lot of things, and we're going to get into this, but I just want to thank the temp mod group that I set up. So JB Wright, Lavonda Rocks, Mishi Cakes, Silent Professor. These guys all jumped in. Like, they all jumped in to help me. None of my mods could make my show. and they all jumped in and said, hey, Honey Flo, we'll help you. So it takes a team to actually do this. And big props to all you guys for just jumping in. I didn't even know half the time. I've lacked sleep so much. I didn't even know that they're in the chat room. Like I messaged Mishi. I said, oh, hey, were you there? She's like, Honey Flo, you talked to me in the chat room. Like they're like, what? She's like, what's wrong with you? You talked to me. Like we were having conversations. I go, was I don't even remember, you know? So I also want to thank Ms. DJ Tone. And I know this is going to be a lot for the thank yous, but I feel like, you know, this is something I really want to do. And I wrote down so I wouldn't forget. So I want to thank Miss DJ Tone. Again, JB Wright, Brown Whiskey just said she'd go on a little bit later for me. You know, I want to thank her as well. Like it was very last minute and I had a lot of cancellations and I had to think quickly and how do I do this? How do I keep this raid train going? Because it feels like it's derailing or breaking. So there was a lot of emergencies. So thank you, Brown Whiskey, for jumping in, staying longer. Oh my gosh, Nerd Chris, there's so much to talk about with this girl. Like with Nerd Chris, there's so much to say as well. And DJ Hannah Rad as well, you know, for believing in the mission coming on. DJ Hannah Rad actually made front page, guys. I've been working hard for a month to make front page and it just wasn't happening. And I guess when I was on DJ Rad's stream, she said, oh, hey, I'm on front page right now. So I know out of this whole raid train, there was one DJ at least that made front page. And it happened to be with my fundraiser too. And she was under, I think, International Women's Month. She got under there and it was just awesome. And it's a pleasure seeing her show, DJ Hannah Rad. And she was willing to come in a second time, but then she had a power outage and we had to find something else again. Oh my gosh, Inch High. This girl is ridiculous. You guys, Inch High from the UK. She had surgery like on her hands. She had surgery. So she had bandages all over her hands. So she literally did oh, here's a celebrity in the building, man, right here. Mimi Berry. So
Mimi Berry! We love you!
She says,
we love you. Thank you.
Yeah, so make sure you guys give Mimi Berry an amazing compliment. And hopefully you could catch the replay, Mimi Berry. But you know, I love you, girl. And I thank you so much for being a mod of mine and not just a mod, but a friend. And you know, just someone that has a heart. And there's just no words to, you know, to thank you for everything. And I appreciate that, Mimi Berry. Like, oh my gosh, I'm sounding like a pipsqueak right now.
No, it's beautiful. Don't apologize. It's beautiful.
No, really but I do. I really, truly do. Mimi Berry, Clarky, you know, Junior, even if there's two people in my room, they're always there. They're always there for me. And they've heard so many things from me. I'm probably driving them crazy. Like I probably do, you know, but she's so laid back and cool. I can't wait when my funds increase and things change around. I cannot wait to take a trip to the UK and see some of these beautiful people, like all you guys around the world that have helped me so much, you know? And yeah, and I definitely love you guys too. I truly do. Like, I feel like you've been such a blessing to me in quarantine and you've helped. You know, sometimes you go through tough situations and I just feel like Twitch has been a blessing. And also, you know, the people that have come in have really helped make me laugh and make me smile again. And, you know, Clarky, Mimi Berry, and you guys have really, you know, definitely really done that. And I really appreciate, you know, everything you've done. And I'm definitely paying you back. You know, I'm definitely doing what it takes. You're not working for free. So I'll, you know, if I have to steal someone's change on the street corner, I'll have to do that. I'm just joking. I'm joking. So, and also Nerd Chris, I want to thank, you know, Nerd Chris stepped in so much. She helped with the graphics, the overlays. She was strategizing with me on the times, and she's like, okay, how about we tell this person to go on longer, this person to go on shorter? Like when my brain couldn't function and figure out what to do, it's like, you know, Nerd Chris like stepped in. She did everything. Last night I was having problems putting up this overlay. She was helping me with StreamYards. Like she really stepped in just to help me. And I really, truly appreciate that. And her show was amazing. So thank you, Nerd Chris, for all your support, and maybe some things I don't understand. I'll have to learn graphics and overlays after, but for Twitch. But I thank you for coming through. I feel like you have such a beautiful heart, and you're a real, true, beautiful person, along with all these 94 beautiful women. Like, you guys truly are. I know I'm talking a lot. Oh my gosh. I'll just say these things very quickly. I want to thank Krish 11. I don't know if she's listening, but I want to thank Krish 11 for being on her best behavior. me and her joke around because we couldn't be more opposite, and she'll call me Mother Teresa, like her,
oh my gosh.
Well, not Mother Teresa. She calls me a prude from Canada, and I bug her, and I always say, well, everyone needs a prudent friend in their life. Like, come on, like, you know, you guys may bug me, but everyone in the chat room needs a prudent friend in their life. So she'll bug me, and then I'll bug her, and I'll be like, you know, I know you're a big softie. You may do whatever you want to do on the outside, but I think you have a very soft, kind, sensitive heart. I'm like, you may try to pull an ice cube on me, but you don't fool me. You don't fool me at all. You know, so we bug each other a lot. And I was most shocked by her show because I didn't think she'd last 5 minutes. And I was a little nervous because we do have people from Parliament watching this. So I was a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh my gosh. And I could not believe her show. I was like, who is this person? I don't know who this is.
Okay.
So I just said, thank you for being on your best behavior, Krish 11. I love you. And, you know, whether you accept the love from me or not, I still do. And I'm still going to say it. And, you know, I'm so honored for you and everyone else to be on this raid train. And I thought it was hilarious. And I like seeing that side of you. I like seeing the side, Krish 11's side, you know. DJ Creamy, I want to shout out. And again, I'm going to go through all your names on my future shows and kind of break it down, maybe 20 people at a time. I can't go through every name here, unfortunately, but because there's so much I want to say about each of you guys. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a few shows and talk about each person and what you guys brought. You know, we had gamers, we had cooks, fitness shows, we had motivational shows, we had talk shows, we had DJs. It was really important for me to just have a mix of people. So DJ Creamy for jumping back on last minute today. Shay Tay, you know, I really appreciated you talking about human trafficking and bringing awareness. Bright Eye Sunflower, you really motivated me and inspired me. You know, DJ Hannah killed it with raising funds, and you know, I could tell she has a generous heart, and she stayed on the mission to raise funds. And I always appreciate DJ Hannah Rad's show. I feel like she's a full entertainer. Like, she's not even just a DJ; she's like a TV host, you know. And just what she brings, you know, I just think she's truly amazing. JB Wright again for backing up. Being a backup mod and also helping and jumping on and doing another show for me. Your laid back demeanor, I could like really, you know, learn from. I wish I was like that. And I wish I was more introverted, but I do wish that I look at you guys and I'm like, man, you guys have so many gifts and talents. And I know I do too, but there's so much I see in each and every one of you guys that you bring. And I love watching that about JB Wright. She's just so cool and chill and so sweet. And there's so many others in this room too. Like Blade is Truth too, I feel has that very sweet voice. She's right here too. So Skylight Candles, I love the fact that you brought candles on your show and you were selling them for this cause. That was totally original and cool. Pink Assassin, oh my gosh, there's so much to say about Pink Assassin. She shared her story, guys, and I won't give her story away because it's hers, but Pink Assassin like literally shared something so personal, you know, in regards to this that I was left speechless after listening to her show, and it really touched me. And if you guys get a chance, go back to Pink Assassin's show. She shared her story, and it takes a level of boldness to share what she shared. And it just makes me realize, like, you know, how much of a bright light she is. Like, even though she's gone through some stuff, it's like, wow, it's just truly inspiring to me that you don't know someone's story until they actually share it, you know? You know, Women in Silence, she always inspires me. You know, she was in jail for 10 years and she's got quite the story. She's going to be on BET for her. I don't know if it already happened or if it's happening this summer, but she always inspires me and just makes me think of Jada Pinkett when I look at her. And, you know, she's kind of cool and calm and collective but has this spunky side to her. But it has a powerhouse story to share with women. And I love that she's talking about prison reform and trying to change the world in her own way. Like, I think it's so beautiful. Joe So Fab from New York, she stayed on longer. Her show really inspired me. Listening to the music, I needed to hear that day. Inch High 73, of course, she had surgery on her hand. She had bandages on her hands. She did a pre-recorded mix and she was still trying to move her hands around, but I could tell that they're probably really sore. But she didn't want to cancel on me. So big props to Inch 73. Who else? There's so many. Oh my gosh. Of course, Nerd Chris for her hard work. Lady G for taking more slots. Dr. Dady Priest for some of the information on human trafficking and just bringing more awareness to this cause. Diva 929 for, you know, having a video chat with me and giving me a lot of great advice before this fundraiser started. I appreciate you, girl, and all the advice that you gave me, you know, to kind of just continue and keep going. I really appreciate it. It just meant a lot to me. And then Blade is Truth. She also sent me a private message and just encouraged me. Oh man, DJ Class 6. Like she was, I didn't even know, people were messaging me that she was sharing, you know, this fundraiser with others. So she called up Kova from Tweak Music Tips and she was sharing this awareness on human trafficking on her show, Class 6. And she was just sharing it with other people. And that's something I really appreciate because, you know, this is definitely my heart and this is not just going to be a raid to me. This is going to be a lifetime purpose. And I hope to make true impact in all that I can do, whatever I can give. I hope I could really do that for, you know, some of the survivors and just really just make a difference. You know, it starts with something that fires you up or makes you upset. And I think that's where your purpose lies, right? And that's what happened to Christine Kane. If you guys Google her story, she was going through an airport and she saw a missing person poster and she couldn't get that missing person poster out of her head. And now she runs the largest global trafficking against human trafficking organization in the world, you know? And I actually did tag her. I tagged her and a bunch of others. I'm like, you never know who's listening. So I may as well shoot my shot and shoot it big and keep tagging her. And hopefully she's listening tonight. That would be truly incredible because I definitely want to make a difference in this area. So thank you, DJ Class 6 and everyone for just spreading more awareness to this issue. Beauty for You is another one that wants to create change on mental health and her inspiration. I thank you for that. I loved your shows. You know, Ms. DJ Tone from Chicago, man, this girl like stepped up. Like she would grab any show that any slot that was open, she would jump in and do it. And her shows are incredible. So Miss DJ Tone, loved that you just jumped in at any time and you're willing. I appreciate you. Mishi Cakes, oh my gosh. I wasn't able to see her show because it was late at night. I'm going to check her replay. But she said that she spent 3 hours talking about human trafficking awareness.
Wow.
And researching it. And I know it takes a great amount of research. Sonia from the Netherlands right here, guys, she literally stepped in 45 minutes. I had a cancellation. She stepped in. I said, hey, can you do it? Like, and I was trying to rush super fast. And she's like, I don't know if I could do it with the overlays and everything. I'm like, scrap the overlays, just jump on. Can you do it? You know? And this woman from the Netherlands is quite a trooper because she just jumped on instantly. And I said, don't worry, your show doesn't need to be perfect. Like, I surely don't look perfect and I haven't thought about my music and I haven't thought about having the best show. The only thing that I care about is, you know, raising funds for this cause and helping a woman. And when we you know, see each other, we go beyond ourselves, we can make impact, you know? So thank you, Sonia, for stepping in. And again, it's still not too late to donate. Please donate. Thank you, DJ Chanel B, for subscribing. I see that on another computer here. And the organization says, yes, we are at 3938 right now, guys. So again, thank you for all the donations coming through, you guys.
Mm.
We could just know that you are going to be impacting, and you're part of something beautiful right now. You're part of impacting another
Mm.
survivor's life. Like, how amazing is that, that we can all come together in probably over 10 different countries right now, close to 100 people, and impact someone else's life and do something bigger. And we could do it on Twitch, and we have done it through Twitch. So let's see here. I'm just seeing here. Flo, of course, for coming in last minute and all the advice you've given me, girl. Like, if there's anyone in this room, that knows me, that would be you. And I really appreciate you coming on my shows and being authentic, and just, it's like we never skip a beat, and when I talk to you, it makes me miss home. It really does. It
Aw.
does. And I know I'm sounding
Aw.
sappy because words is my love language, so I can't help it.
Well,
But
it's a blast with you.
yeah, and I also want to thank DJ Chris Cut. Man, this girl last night, she was up 3 hours, guys. Chris Cut said she was thinking about staying the whole entire time. That is
Whoa.
crazy. This
Whoa.
woman was going to stream. Well, I know she already does it because she's bionic woman, and I surely, like, I'm snoring. Every time I get to her set, I'm snoring because I can't handle staying up that late, the West Coast, East Coast time. But Chris Cut is truly amazing. She raised $315, guys, on her show, a
Wow.
3-hour show. But get this, Flo, this girl, yeah, we call her Team No Sleep. I don't know if she's still in the chat, but this girl, man, she was going to go till 8 in the morning. So,
When
here
did
she
she
is.
start?
So I don't know how she does it. Like, I can't do it. I got like a lazy eye and my eyes like flapping like this. Like, I
In the
can't do it.
morning.
This is
Whoa, so
DJ
like
Chris
12
Cut.
to 3?
Yeah, no. So what she was gonna do is stream, I think, from like 1 or 2 last night all the way to 8 a.m. in the
No,
morning,
no, for real though.
and
Like 1 to 8, 1 to
right
8.
into the next streamer. And I said, no, you don't. I don't want you killing yourself. You don't have to do that.
Wow.
So
Wow.
then I set my alarm at 6 in the morning today to see if I could see her. And if I saw her, then I jump in her room. But I think she ended earlier. But this girl is exceptional because she doesn't just DJ and stream like a show on here. Like, this
Yeah.
girl's doing real-time gigs. She's doing 24-hour streams. She's doing
Wow.
fundraisers herself. Like, she's doing a lot of different things that,
It's amazing.
so for you to even be a part of my train, Chris Cut, like, I salute you. And, I still think about our interview together, and I thank you for just being a genuine person and having the heart for other people, and realizing the mission, was just not a raid train, but it was like to impact another woman's life. And that I'm forever grateful, for you for raising this much, because I know it's a lot to raise on any show. So I just thank you for just having a giving heart, and know that, whatever you do and whatever we do together and pour out in the world, I promise you it's going to come back 10 times.
Yes,
I know
it will. My
yeah,
thoughts exactly.
because it's
Yeah.
definitely happened. So thank you. I salute you. Stay lifted. She supported the mission and had a beautiful stream too. Brown Whiskey Woman, of course, she stayed 30 minutes more, and it was like very fast. I was typing in her chat room, typing messages to her. I was like, oh shoot, is she going to get this? And just, oh man, I hope I didn't miss. There's just so many people and so many things to say. But I think that's what I had on my list here that I could see. So I guess we're going to get to your questions now. But I just wanted to, spend some time thanking everyone. And it's not, and if I didn't say your name, I promise I'm going to definitely get to it, because there's something I wrote down about every single show that I could think of for all of you guys, and something special you did, whether you a DJ, crafter, gamer. We had so many do so many interesting things. It was so cool seeing so many women that are so different from each other in different countries. And that was my mission, to come together. We could come together as women. And, a lot of times we're taught to compete and have comparison. And we're taught that from the day we're born as women. But if we learn to come together, we could do something a lot more beautiful, and we could impact the world, and we could be game changers and do something different, you know? And that's what I really wanted. That was kind of the heart of this raid, and just uniting people together. So no competition. I mean, there's big streamers with us. There's smaller streamers. There's, you know, ones that are just learning how to DJ. There's ones that are like turntablists. It's just incredible to see all your gifts and passion and your love. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming on board with me and believing this vision. But I'm gonna let Flo take it then, because I know I think that's what I had on my list here. Yeah.
Are you ready to answer questions? Huh?
Yeah, I think I'm just
Barbara
gonna grab a glass of
Walters?
water. Do you want to shout out a few people? I'm gonna grab some water.
Sure. Well, I'll
okay.
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go do your thing. It's good to remain hydrated. Oh, okay, you're just drinking. Okay. I thought you were gonna literally go grab water. Okay. Well, I just wanted to shout out like the chat. I've just been watching some of your comments, and you really are beautiful people. You really are incredible people. I want to shout you out for being present, being here, for spreading the love, because we know in this world that we live in right now, we need more love. We need more light in what seems like a dark world. So I just want to thank you all for your love, for shining your light, for supporting Honey Flow, and for so many of you with your talents. You know what I mean? Like what you bring to the streams, like your perspective, your gifts, everything. Just want to thank you for being you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting each other. You inspire me, for real, for real. Okay. Time for the questions. I'm excited to interview, because she always asks the questions. Now I can ask the questions.
Just don't ask the other questions you asked when Stirs to Soul was here and you guys were asking about the dating stuff. Just don't ask that stuff.
Don't get me started or tempted. If we need some fillers, I know where to go. Okay. So DJ Honeyflow, why did you want to do this?
Yeah, I think it was something that was just in my heart for many years, especially with human trafficking. So basically, last year I ended up losing my job in the pandemic, and doing this full time. A lot of people, I've kind of kept that more of a secret. Only my mods knew what I was kind of doing. Even my family probably doesn't even know what I'm doing right now, because a lot of people think this is ridiculous, right? So I just decided, life is short. I want to just be happy and do something I love. And whether I'm the best of the best or I'm not, I'm going to just give it a try. So anyways, when I lost my job, in the beginning of the pandemic, then this human trafficking thing just kept coming to me. Like it just kept coming to me. And I'm just like, I got to do something. So I was telling them on the house show that I actually had a few dreams that were just so out of nowhere, and I had a dream of, a burning building, and I had a dream that there's all these kids and these people in this burning building, but I was just standing outside of this building, and I was just looking in, and I wanted to run in. I wanted to run in and pull these kids out, but I was too afraid, because I'm just like, oh, I can't do it, because that's going to affect me. That's going to hurt my life. Like I was too afraid, basically. So I was standing outside this burning building, and I was basically just a bystander, just basically saying, I'll just pray for you, and we do that so much, whether you guys have faith or not. It's like, this is pretty much my experience. So it was kind of deep, and I woke up, I'm like, that was such a weird dream, and then I just remember having a few more dreams about human trafficking. So I had another dream, and it was, I literally saw these women and kids in hotel rooms. I'm not even joking. Like I literally had a dream of seeing these women and these kids in hotel rooms. And I woke up and it was so vivid that I'm just like, I don't know what to do with this. Like I have zero experience in this field, And basically what came to my heart, and I don't know what it was, but this is what happened to me and it's the truth. What came to my heart was, while you're sitting in fear and inadequacy and you don't know what to do, this is still happening. So while you're sitting there pondering what you should do, this is still happening. This is still continuing. Like, it's not changing. So this very moment right now, there's 40 million people in slavery. There's
Yeah.
40 million people. There's every hotel, especially in Ontario, across Canada, across the States. I can guarantee you every single hotel is filled with women and children. And I woke up and it was so powerful. And I'm just like, well, I don't know what to do. Like, I would be the last person to be ever used, you know? So I just, those dreams just kind of stuck out at the beginning of quarantine. And then I decided to call someone. So I messaged this woman that helped me when I went through a lot of loss and when I lost some relationships out here. When they ended up passing away, I called this woman that really helped me. I said, "Hey, do you know anyone that's involved with helping women in human trafficking? I don't know. This just keeps coming to my mind and heart. Like, can you connect me with someone?" So she ended up connecting me with someone, and she works directly with these survivors. And she said,
Wow.
"Well, I can't let you in. There's no way I could let you in because some of these survivors ask very basic questions, and the last thing they need to be is judged. So they don't need to hear this and that from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you don't come from that background or that lifestyle, then forget it. We're not letting you in, you know, in a sense. She said it nice to me, but that's, and I get it. I respect that. So I left it. I left it for about a year. I just kept doing Twitch. I kept doing my own thing. And then I had another dream. Then it would keep coming back to me. And I'm just like, this is so bizarre. Why do I keep dreaming about this? Like, I got to do something about this. So I just decided, you know what, I'm going to call her back, even though it's been a year. So I called her back. She got me in touch with John Cassells because she works with him. And then I guess John Cassells kind of saw my heart. So he's like, okay, well, we'll let you in. So, you know, even though you don't have any experience, we'll bring you, why don't you come to a meeting? We'll invite you in. So they invited me into a meeting last month, and I was able to meet a few women, you know, and some of the stuff he was saying, I really understood it. I started understanding it more. Like, at first I was like, oh, like, I was nervous. I'm like, are these women going to like me? Are they going to not? Like, I was really, really nervous, you know. I'm like, what should I wear? What should I do? I don't know. But when I met them, you know, some of the things that he talked about, like, he talks about how some survivors are not as trusting, especially to other women, you know, they're not as trusting, or maybe they deal with high anxiety or have PTSD, or you know, being in large crowds, it's not easy to trust easily, you know.
Yeah.
So, but you know me, Flo, I'm such that annoying person. I'll walk in a room and I'll be like, "Hey guys, hi, how you doing?" Like, I'm so annoying that way. I can't help it. That's my personality. Like, I'm one of those people in the office you want to avoid, because I'll keep going up to your office cubicle and
It's
asking. No,
beautiful.
no, trust me, people don't like
No,
that.
you bring community and love. I don't think
Yeah,
anything.
but I can't help it because it's just, that's just who I am.
It's
I'm,
beautiful.
yeah, I wanna
Yeah.
learn more about people. I'm not being nosy. It's just something
No.
I care about. I wanna learn about who people
Mhm.
are and where they come
Mhm.
from, and
Yeah.
I don't know, but not everyone, some people do think it's strange. But anyways, so I walked in and I was just like, and you're
Mm.
thinking everyone's gonna be chatty catty, everyone's gonna just warm up and be open.
Mhm.
And there was a few that shared their stories with me, and they said that, you know, it started with their boyfriend, and it started with someone that they trusted,
Yeah.
right? And now they're doing things in the community to create change on this, right?
Mm.
So I feel like everything that we go through is to help someone else. It's not to serve ourselves. So everything
Mm.
that we go through, if it's loss, if it's grief, if it's losing a job, if it's, I don't know, it could be anything. We all have stories in this room, right? But anything we go through is to always bless and help someone else. And it's not for you to hold on to your story and be quiet about it, but it's to actually share it with people, because you don't, your story is going to save someone's life. You don't
Yeah.
even realize that, but
Yeah.
it truly does. And that's why I opened up my story
Mm.
on Twitch. So that's kind of how it became. It just kind of happened with these dreams. And I was just like, well, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know how to do this. And then I wanted to do a raid for women for
Mhm.
International Women's Month.
Yeah.
And it was just like, then the idea just happened just like that. It was just like, why don't you do this and this and this? And it just started forming. Why don't
Mhm.
you, you know, and when I talked to John, he's like, well, it would be nice to fundraise for my organization, but to be honest with you, I have a better person for you. I have a better woman for you. Like
That's amazing.
that's where you know someone's
Oh,
heart is so,
yeah.
that's why I couldn't help but cry with him, because that's where you know someone's heart is so pure when they're
Yeah,
willing to
it's a
give
good
up,
one.
you fundraising for them, for
Mhm,
someone else, and says,
mhm,
"Hey, your vision and your mission is the
mhm.
same as this woman Laura's. So I want you guys connecting." Like that's why I just think it's
Wow.
so incredibly encouraging and beautiful
Mhm.
meeting, like I don't, like a man like him, I think it's so uplifting to see that he's doing change and making a difference. And it's so beautiful that he started Men Against Human Trafficking, and
Yeah,
he
yeah,
stands like a leader and a fighter
yeah,
basically
yeah,
for women and children.
yeah,
And there are plenty of men doing that,
yeah.
whether they're in the police force or working at customs. I've gotten about 5 or 6 messages from men. So I salute all the men that have supported this raid. We need you. We can't do this without
Yeah,
you.
definitely.
Yeah, it's not like a woman versus man thing, not at all. We need
Mhm,
each other as human
mhm.
beings. We need each other, and we need more people rising up as leaders and actually caring about the injustices in this world.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how that came about with how it just started forming and meeting the right people and kind of doing this on my own. And then I'm like, okay, let me try to find as many women as I can to jump on board with me. And that's kind of how it happened.
Beautiful vision. Um, wow. Yeah, honey flow. That's I have so much to say, but I want to get through the questions first, and then if the rest of that stuff comes up, then great. But what highlights did you have in this process throughout all this?
Oh gosh, there's so many highlights. Now I'm kind of drawing a blank. There's so many highlights, so many highlights. Wow. I would say the highlights of just watching all the women and seeing all their beautiful shows on Twitch, like that was a
Mm,
huge highlight from crafters.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
last night I saw, or it was a couple nights ago, I don't even remember what day we're on. But I saw,
Okay.
them using diamonds and doing like a
Mm.
purse, like a
Oh,
Jordan purse, and
yeah.
Shelby Nicole, right? I think Co's play. She was doing that. I think she just got such an incredible gift for crafting. It was really
Mm.
cool watching all the gamers. Um, yeah, make sure you guys get Flosoul up to 50 people, guys. We want to bless her because she's a
Are you
beautiful
still
soul.
working on that, you guys? Come
Yeah.
on.
So
This room.
make sure you guys add
You
make
guys
sure
are
you guys
just amazing.
add Flow Soul. She's honestly incredible. I'm like her biggest uh, you know, I really am a cheerleader. Like I think this point Twitch is our radio always calls me a peppy little cheerleader on my streams, and it is
You
kind of true.
are though. You're amazing though, honey
Yeah.
Flo. Like seriously, it's an honor to know you, to be affiliated with what you do. I'm sounding like a broken record, and I'm sure so many of you who've gotten to know Honey Flow through Twitch have noticed that she is absolutely beautiful inside out. And even just seeing her heart pour out for this cause, you really are an exceptional human being, and it is such a pleasure and honor to know you. And just, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Well, thank you. Honestly, I don't even want to take any glory. I just think that, you know, we're supposed to be here for a mission and a purpose. So I take
Yeah.
none of that. We know who we serve, and I know it may sound like a broken record or crazy to others, but no one can tell me that that isn't real. Like no one, because it's like I've had like serious crazy dreams and visions, and I've literally had like, you're up next, like you're going to be the one doing this, and I'm just like, I don't think I'm qualified to do what I
Mm,
feel like is going to happen. Like there's way more. I can't even share that, right? I can't even share everything that I'm seeing right now. There's way more, but I'm waiting until it actually happens and it actually unfolds. But it
yeah,
blows my mind that, and it feels
yeah,
good. Like it feels good. For once I feel like in my heart this
mhm,
feels so good. Like,
mhm,
sometimes you get caught up in numbers and
mhm.
chasing and following, and you're trying to build because
Yeah.
you're also thinking, because most people didn't know that I was off work. So it's like you are building and you're trying so hard to build something, but it's not exactly the way maybe you're supposed to go. And sometimes you build it alone. Sometimes you have to be on your own to build whatever vision or dream that is, you know, because I was going to work with other women for International Women's Month, but it was just too hard to explain, you know, what was going on inside of me. And I figured I'm going to just try this on my own and see if this works, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? There's different seasons though. Sometimes we have to go it alone for a season. Then other times there's like people who are inspired by our vision and rally around us. Like, I don't know if it's still on, but my dad was a huge fan. My dad was like a CNN-aholic. Like he loved CNN, right? And so one of my favorite two things to watch with him on CNN was Anthony Bourdain, you know, when Anthony Bourdain was, you know, with us. And then the other thing was CNN Heroes. So inspiring, and like vision, like usually it started off with a vision of one person. Honey Flo, you're making me kind of think of that. But one person who had a vision to just make a difference somehow. You know what I mean? Whether it be prosthetics or bringing light or water to like certain areas. And it could have been someone who's from Bangladesh or from Tanzania. Like these CNN heroes were from around the world. And people would write into Anderson Cooper or text him or whatever and be like, oh my gosh, my neighbor or this person in my town or I need to highlight that this person's doing great things. This person's inspiring me. And a lot of their stories that started with one person and one vision, and it inspired so many others. And you think about other people like, you know, Martin Luther King Jr., Gandhi, you know what I mean? Nelson Mandela. It all starts with the power of one. So Honey Flo, you're having the idea and you're stepping forward and executing it. And even this 24/7 raid is a classic example of people coming, like your mods and so many people like, you know, picking up extra shifts and stuff because people believe in what you're doing. Isn't that beautiful?
Everyone came together. Everyone really came together. So there were so many highlights watching the shows. And just like people that really touched my heart, you know, like people that literally made me cry when I was watching their show, you know, like DJ Foxy, like she said she worked with human trafficking victims and survivors and just like helping them update their resumes and different things. And she started crying on her stream and that like literally, I was like, thank God I'm not on camera, but I mean, the Hell Show, I ended up crying and now I'm crying today. So go figure. But like, I just think it was really beautiful that she was so touched and she understood the cause and the mission, and that really touched me. And just I mean, like I said, all these other people, there's just so many to count, you know. It's like I don't even have enough time to go through every single show and what I saw, you know. But I would say hers definitely hit me hard. Pink Assassin, her show, her sharing her story. Hal, I'm like, oh great, the Hal Show, he's probably gonna, you know, like, because I cried on his show. I was like, are you kidding me? We're talking about mixtapes. It's like, why am I, you know, didn't even cry sharing my story on Twitch for the first time or a couple times, and for some reason, and I apologize, Hal, because I gave him no room to ask a question. I just kept going. I was in my zone, so I apologize to Hal. But
I agree with the House Show. Let it flow. Maybe you didn't cry with your, you know, your story, but maybe all of this is just letting it, like releasing it. And honestly, I'm sounding like a broken record, but I think seeing your emotions just shows that much more how you authentically care. And it's just showing the beauty of your heart. And it's just, it's touching me, and I'm sure it's touching everybody. And so don't apologize for that. I think it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and he zoomed in on my face when I was crying. You know? Like, so I was like this. I was like, no, stop.
Too funny.
So yeah, I never have. I was pretty proud of the fact that I never ever cried, you know. But I do think too, and I know you can relate to this, Flo, but when you go through loss and you go through certain things and you go through, you know, meeting people, whether it's family or like friends that are close, and you know, family that never or friends that never hit 25, 30, 35, 40, like when you go through that enough, it makes you realize, it sparks something in you, knowing that like I knew all these people's dreams, I knew what they want to accomplish, but they told me that they're in fear and they wish that they had more time. I've heard that from several people. So for me, that's what lights a fire under me, saying that like I need to do something. And sometimes our platform is not for millions of people. Sometimes things are done in secret. Like when I look at a guy like John, he's got like a small grassroots it's not like a big, multi-million dollar company. But you know what? When I went to his meeting, he has a few women there, maybe, I don't know, it could be 10 people, it could be 20 people. He's got a full spread for them, Starbucks drinks, food, and he's just sharing his heart and loving them. And that's where it starts with each and every one of us, that
Totally.
it may not be for the millions. And I know we're taught that online. We're taught that on Twitch. We're taught that on Instagram, on YouTube, like how to gain this, how to be $1 million, whatever. But at the end of our lives, what are we accountable for? Like, what legacy do you want to leave behind? And I'm not saying I'm perfect by any means. I have so much work to do. But what I'm saying is that we can do the platforms we have now. And sometimes those platforms aren't made for big, but I do feel that when we do pass away, I'm a firm believer that we're going to see all the connections. We're going to see,
can you imagine?
like how everything was connected together, that you helped, that you contributed to. So I think about that a lot, and I just want that to count. I don't want to just do a 9 to 5 again. I don't want to just pay my bills and do a job that I hate. I want to live it more with passion. So that's why this idea was so beautiful and cool to do with you guys. And it was just such a blessing to see so many people. And I hope you guys all add each other and start connecting with one another, because you guys truly are beautiful women and you have so much to give to the world. And I hope you realize that. I hope you see the beauty in you and your shows and what you do and what you have to bring. And know that your platform is not just playing music, and it's not just gaming or crafting. Know that people are coming in your chat rooms through a pandemic. People are going through a lot of stuff, and know that like they're seeing you and watching you because you're also uplifting them. So it should never be, just so about ourselves, and that's one thing I had to pull away from, is trying to make things work, because they don't work my way. But if I learn to release that and let go and just follow whatever I feel in my heart, then they work a much better way, but a different way, right? So I just want to encourage everyone tonight to know that your platform, you have a voice and you have gifts, and you guys are all beautiful, and you guys are queens, and you have so much to offer the world in your communities, your cities, to make a difference. And it's not necessarily human trafficking. It could be homelessness. It could be fighting against racism. It could be any issue, any injustice that you see that you have impact, So, yeah.
I think in the end, I just want to expand further on what you said, Honey Flo, and then we'll go to the next question.
Yeah, no problem.
I think that we are walking platforms. And I know that obviously with like social media, when people think about platforms or influencers, they think about like online, or you know what I mean. You have to be like a sports superstar or a pop star or like an actor, maybe a politician. But I think that like whether if you are a teacher, a coworker, a coach, a mom, a dad, you know what I mean, or like doing Big Brother, Big Sister, kind of volunteering with that, you're a walking platform. Basically, it's whoever's life you touch, and like even if it's touching one life.
Yes, for sure.
That's one or a million,
100%.
right? Because it could be that one life that you've touched. Oh my gosh, I've heard stories of one person who, let's say, like inspired like Billy Graham or Benjamin Franklin, or just like people who have like one person who had no idea, but like taught or mentored and inspired people who became change makers. But had that person not inspired them or touched them, they wouldn't have become who they were, right? So it's just, you don't know who you're impacting. And that one life can make a huge difference in the future and in the world, right? It's like the butterfly effect. So I love what you said about like, we all have platforms and we're all connected for a reason, and we're all going to impact somebody around us, right? So that's pretty powerful and amazing. Okay, so what challenges did you have?
Oh my gosh, what challenges didn't I have? So it was interesting, guys. Oh my gosh. I think I had 3 power outages. I had 2 people, I hope I can say, with COVID in different countries that just got COVID. So I hope they're feeling much better, and everything is better for them. I had one unique situation. I won't say who these people were, but these were all the cancellations. So I had to really race. But I had one person that I thought was really unique. she told me her ex-boyfriend stole her controller and she just got her laptop back. I was like, what? That's crazy. That
Wow.
would be the worst thing. That would be so evil if someone stole my controller, you know? So I had to literally race 45 minutes before the show and try to find someone. I don't know if it's when Sonia jumped in. I don't know. And hopefully she gets her controller back. I salute to all the women that couldn't make it. I'm not sure if I wrote down your names. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I'm not quite sure. But I salute all the women that couldn't make it still or that had to cancel. You know, I appreciate you for even coming on and saying yes to the vision. I had a few people that just didn't show up, that were no shows. I had wrong times. So I guess different countries like in Japan, Thailand, you know, Eastern time, Canada, I could all be different. So
Yeah.
I had to really race and try to get people on instead of at 3 in the morning, instead of, that's why I tried staying up the best I could. But by the fourth or fifth day, I think it was hitting me. Like it still kind of hit me. So hopefully I make sense tonight. Because it's definitely hit me. Yesterday it hit me lack of sleep.
Yeah.
Um, some oh yeah, so those were my challenges. Some funny things that you guys are going to find hilarious about me is I was talking to Nightbots. So I was just in Nicole Night Officials, and she did a dope show before raiding into me. But I basically started talking to her Nightbot, thinking it was Nicole Official. So
Oh
I
my
kept
gosh.
going, "Hey, I'm going to be on at this time," or
Mhm.
"Hey, this is," like I'm trying to send her fast warnings in her
Oh,
chat,
you're
and
tight.
I kept putting the Nightbot instead of Nicole Night Official. And then yesterday I was talking to Chris Cutt, and she's like, "You're not talking to me about me, are you?" Oh, dear Lord. I don't know what I said to her. I said I was talking about, I guess, you know, we had a bit of drama because there were some women that were upset with me because they felt that I didn't include them on the raid. And they could have emailed me as well. I tried 2 or 3 times, but if I try twice or 3 times and I don't get a response, or if I try once, I'm probably not going to keep trying. Like my mods are like, you need to stop asking people like 10 times. Like if no one's answered, it's okay. Like just move on to, you know, what you need to organize because it's really big. So I hope no one takes anything personal. So we were talking about that last night, and I think I mentioned you to Chris Cutt, but I didn't mean her directly. And she's like, "Hey, I never said that. I was agreeing with you." I was like, "No, no, I didn't mean you. I meant just the situation." So my brain is not working right. Like I was putting exclamation mark donut. You guys, I was putting donut in people's chats. So for 5 days, I was putting exclamation mark donut. Do you guys know what exclamation mark donut is? I was trying to put donate.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I was writing donut. I don't know how girl, Chris Cut, I do not know how you are team no sleep. Like I do not know how you do this. I really do not understand for the life of me how you do 24-hour streams. I do not like
Wow.
she's like superwoman. Like I do not know.
Wow.
Yeah, Chris Cut says first come first comes with the
So
scheduling.
DJ Chris Cut, like the 24-hour like streams, is that on a regular base? Like how often? Is that like once a month or is that like once every 3 months? Like how often do you do that?
Oh, yeah, I think she does it a lot, man. Like
Wow.
I just can't function. I don't know. I tried. Okay, another funny thing, guys, is last night I was like 20 more minutes, 20 more minutes. I could do it. I'm going to stay up for Chris Cut's set. I got to stay up. I got to stay up for her. And then I literally had my phone, like my headphones, like beside me. And I'm like, okay, 24 minutes. 20 minutes. I could do it. I could do it no problem. I've been on shows, 90 shows. I can do this. Right. So I guess I must have just fell asleep. But then I woke up in the morning and I tried waking up at 6 o'clock to see if she was still on. And I was like, "Oh." And I got up and I'm walking around and I'm like, "What the heck?" I didn't even put on my PJs. So I know Brown Whiskey was like, "Okay, honey Flo, you're giving us too much information." Because I was telling her that in the chat room. But it was funny because I've never done that. I haven't done that in years where you're just like, you just crash and you have your clothes on. You don't even realize that you didn't even change. So I woke up. I was like, "What the heck? I have my clothes on from yesterday," you know? So And then when I was driving to get some food, I missed like 2 exits. I kept getting back on the
Oh my
freeway.
gosh.
And these crazy freeways, you can't get off the freeway. It's like
Yeah.
Chicago. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh man. So I'm
Wow.
like in a 5-lane or 10-lane thing, and I'm honking at everyone to try to get to the first lane. Like I'm asking them if they could let me in when it's a red light flow. So I'm literally trying to move like 5
Are
lanes
you serious?
in front of them, and I'm like, forget it, I can't do it. I'm gonna have to go back on the highway again. So those were some funny things that happened. There was definitely a lot of drama and a lot of cancellations, but
Oh,
the train almost derailed, but we never derailed the train. Yeah, Clarky says lack of sleep is
it
something else.
is,
Mimi
which is
Berry's still up too. She's 5 hours ahead in the UK. Yeah.
why all of y'all, I think that Honey Flo needs a vacation. I think like Honey Flo needs to just sleep for a week.
Yeah, I
You're
probably need to
just,
sleep.
yeah, you need a major vacay. You really do.
And
Okay.
we had several countries. Let me know if I missed your country, but again, I want to thank everyone. We had countries from the United States, Canada, the Netherlands. We had Japan, Australia, Thailand, Europe, the UK. Like, so if there's any country that I missed, let me know, put it in the chat. But big shout out to all
Let's
these
do it.
countries, all these beautiful women coming
Global.
together
Yeah.
for a better cause. But I still don't know how Chris cut. I literally do not know how the girl does it. Like, you know what I would do if I did a 24-hour stream flow? This
Mhm.
is Chris Cut here. What I would do is I would just make a fake video or a cutout of myself
Yeah.
and paste it in my scene and pretend I'm still playing.
You're pre-recorded.
Yeah, pre-record it or do a
Yeah.
cutout of myself and see if anyone notices. And then I
Mhm.
would just like go beside it and and then go to my room or go to the couch and just sleep for a couple hours. That I may try that. I may see. I'm gonna try to see if I could fool some people on Twitch. If they notice that I'm not blinking, then
Yeah.
maybe I'm gonna see if they notice. Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
Oh my gosh. I think you answered to the next questions. So
Oh,
well, probably, yeah, I think you did. How did you navigate this massive raid train? Because you're mentioning the train almost derailing a couple times. You also answered in the thank yous who helped you make these amazing graphics. So I
yeah.
think you answered both questions, unless you want to like mention a little bit more.
Yeah,
Um,
I could mention how I kind of designed this train, and it was definitely a big undertaking. So what I did, and I think this is, I used to imagine office and insurance like years ago. I don't know how I lasted in insurance. I'm such a non-life insurance person ever. I don't even know. But I think I went into overdrive, like those skills started kicking in working with teams of people. So what I did is I designed 6 IG groups, and I
mhm,
figured that would be easier doing it day by day. So instead of having like 100 women all together, like either through email, why don't I try to break it down and make it easier for myself and work day by day? So
mhm,
I designed 6 days of about like 20 people, right? And then I also designed a cancellation group on IG. So I had a list of people that were ready to fill in.
mhm,
And these were other women that weren't able to get on the train, but I wanted, or I missed them, or they messaged me. So I did that. Then I did also another a temp mod group on
mhm,
IG.
mhm.
So a group of all mods that were willing to help me. And then with graphics, I was working. Mimi Berry took the bulk. She did everything. Like
Mm.
she's truly amazing. Like she really did everything. And I really want everyone to add Mimi Berry in the room, LDN and Clarky 2020. But I really want you guys to also send a nice message to Mimi Berry. And if you guys need graphics, I'm going to keep plugging her.
Yeah.
She does the most graphics overlays. Designed, she cropped 100 pictures. She designed everything with the flyer. And then Nerd Chris stepped in because I guess the flyer overlay wasn't really working. Nerd Chris designed this one actually that we're looking at right now.
Mm.
So she stepped in because I guess the overlay wasn't really working with a lot of, I didn't even think about that, like gamers, cooks, crafters, some DJs. I didn't even think about that. So Nerd Chris really stepped in and really helped. I contacted 266 women that I wrote down. It's probably more than that. And again, 119 said yes and confirmed it with me, but 94 actually signed up in the schedule. So that's kind of how I think that's kind of how it happened. So day by day, I would be flipping through like all these groups,
Yeah.
and then I was trying to navigate, but I was trying to go one day at a time because it was a lot and it was a
Mhm.
lot of messages.
Mhm.
Um, and I felt like I needed to stay up on I want to be on every one show, but I didn't really sleep because like the train would always try derailing at the end of the night. Like there was always some type of drama every single day. And day 6 didn't know what day 1 was doing and day 5 or day 3 because I kept them all separate, right?
Mhm.
Cuz like I didn't think 100 women wanted all my messages at once.
Yeah.
So I figured maybe I'll try to do it day by day. So
Mhm.
imagine the messages you guys got. I found day 4 and day 5 hard, or actually day 5. What day are we on? We're on day 6. Day 4, day 5, and day 6 hard because there's last minute cancellations,
Yeah.
and that really makes it difficult for someone trying to fill, and it's not just filling a streamer, you gotta fill in, like, a female streamer, so now you gotta find another woman, right? So that I was ready to jump on at any time, but I didn't really want to. I wanted to just focus on trying to
Mhm.
navigate
Of
everything.
course.
So that's kinda how I in my brain, but I think I got some good suggestions from people, and I think next time, I'm definitely gonna make a team, like, work with a team of people, because it was really just me, Mimi Berry, and, Clarky helping on graphics, like, it was just basically, like, us, like, the entire time, and and then Nerd Chris and others just jumped in automatically to help, like, a bunch of you guys that I mentioned earlier, you guys all I couldn't have done it without you. You guys all jumped in to help, which was amazing. Yeah.
So I heard next time, and so
Mhm.
this has not scared you. You're thinking you want to do this again. You said next time. Are you
Yeah,
considering
I'd love
next?
to do it again. Maybe not a guy, it's funny. I had some guy DJs. They're just like, "Hey, Honey Flow, why don't you do it quarterly?" I'm like, "Are you crazy? Do you want me to gain like gray hair and my hair falling out? My hair's already falling out." Like, no, I don't think I could do it quarterly. But
Wow.
props to all the ones that have done it. Props to you guys. Like, the Chanel Bees, I saw her in my room as
Yeah.
well. Props to
Mhm.
Chanel B and the rest of the women that do this often and do raids often with a lot of people. It takes so much planning and so much more work than people think.
Mm.
So props to all you guys. But
Mm.
yeah, I think I would probably do it like maybe twice a year. But
Mm.
I want to, it would be cool doing a train of maybe I'll do it all men, and then Honey Flow will be leading it.
Mm.
Maybe I'll try
Yeah.
that.
Why not?
That's an idea. We'll
Why
see,
not? Hey, why not?
No, I have a few ideas. I have a few, oh, what did you say? "Hey, Stirs the Soul, good to see you." Oh, so weekly is out of the question? Oh, yes. Unless if you wanna run it, Stirs, and you wanna get on camera with me, then I will do it with you, but yeah, that is weekly, I definitely cannot do. Quarterly, I don't think I could do.
It's a
Um,
lot.
yeah.
It's a lot. So last question, which hits the heartbeat of everything that you've done for this. What are some stats on human trafficking?
Yeah, so I think we covered definitely a lot of stats. And again, you guys press the donate link if you feel led to donate. It's not over. We're going
Mhm.
to keep it up for a month. And
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like a pest or anything because I have already sent messages to all the group. But if you guys, I know everyone got incredible trains, they got incredible love during this raid. If you guys feel led, definitely give what you can. I was just thinking this morning if there's like 94 streamers, right? So if 94 streamers, close to 100, and I'm just saying this generally, it was just a thought I was thinking, right? Because when you break it down, it becomes easier. But
Mhm.
when you have 100 streamers, say if 100 of those gave, say, $100, that would make $10,000 like instantly. You know what I mean? So when you think about those different things, and the key is the mission is to bless another woman. It is to do something more, than yourself. And when you do bless others, and it's been hard, like, out of all the people that have blessed me on my show, it's been the most difficult thing for me, to be honest with you guys, is going back because I used to go back to every single show and try to give them their bits and give them their subs back because they've helped me so much. But then I started going into like a real minus position doing it. So someone told me like you need to stop doing that or else you're always going to be in a minus position. I go, I know, but I'm trying, right? So I just say that, like, I really want to say whoever's given to me, know that, like, I hope to give that back in return,
Mhm.
to each and every person that's given, and especially
Mhm.
have been so sacrificial on this raid, have given up their hype trains, given up, the support that they got. Like, when I'm definitely in a better position, that's the first thing I'm gonna do. So just I always say, just, you never know someone's situation unless they share it, but
Mhm.
know that so when you bless someone else, it comes back to you tenfold.
Totally,
And also
100%.
I would say be patient because you never know someone's situation. So maybe they
Mhm.
may not be able to give something to you instantly or right back, right? But maybe, later on they'll be able to do that.
Mhm.
So
You
I
never
just
know.
I don't know, I just kind of say, because sometimes in this community, sometimes there's a lot of assumptions, or there's a lot of things, or without really even knowing the person at all. We all do it. We all make assumptions. I surely have, right? So I think it's good to kind of look at those things and know that, when you bless someone and it's truly from your heart, you're not expecting something back. You're not expecting something back.
Yeah.
You'll be blessed in the process. So for me, this is just a big passion of mine that I want to pursue. And I know that we're going to help more than one woman. I should actually message the organization um, and see if we got over 4,000, which is incredible. Like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually message her right now. I just did. So the organization, Laura Seeds, messaged me earlier, probably, I don't know, before 8 o'clock. And she said that we're at 39.38 in donations, Um, so
Honey,
yeah.
but
Mhm.
what is can you remind us what is the end term goal?
Well, the end term goal, and I kind of thought maybe that might have been a little large, I don't know. I'm not quite sure because this was my first fundraiser, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I talked to D-Man and I talked to White Gold briefly and a few others that have done really successful fundraisers. So, different advice I got, it was pretty realistic, right? So my goal was to hit 15,000 for this restoration house.
Yeah,
But again, it doesn't stop here,
yeah,
and I
100%.
love Nerd Chris's advice because I was starting to feel like, oh, like, could I have done better? Like, what could I have done more, right? But I realized that I did everything, and we together have done
Mhm.
everything we could.
Yeah,
And also, human trafficking is not so much a popular issue like breast cancer awareness or some of these other fundraisers. It's fairly kind of new, and I salute all the men coming out. I definitely thought more would come. I'll be honest. Like, I was waiting for some of the people that I really knew well to be here throughout this process. I've been on 90 shows for 6 days, so I was really hoping to see some people that I knew a lot more and that I talk to more on a regular basis. But whatever that may be, I know human trafficking is not always a comfortable topic to talk about, right?
right.
So I get that, and it's well needed, and I'm just proud of the fact. Thank you so much, Mimi Berry, for those 1,000 bits. I appreciate you so
Mm,
much. But girl, you should not be, submitting anything to me. It's like, yeah, you definitely should not be doing that at all because you've already done so much work for me. But
mhm.
thank you again, Mimi Berry, for believing in the vision and the cause, and all you guys standing alongside. Wow, 94 people that have showed up and showed out on all their shows and have been so gracious. And
Yeah,
from cooking, waffles to, like, designing purses with diamonds on them to DJs. It's just been unbelievable, to mixologists, brown whiskey women, teaching us how to do different drinks. Like, it's truly been incredible with so many different streamers. And
mhm,
I hope you guys get more support, and I really hope that people come to your shows more, and Twitch showcases you because there's a
mhm.
lot of great, and it's not just
Yeah,
women. There's a lot of great men, but in this business, I want to see more women showcased. That was my vision, to see all of you guys showcase your shows, and for you guys to connect with one another, and to know that we can do this together no matter how different we are, where we come
yeah,
from, or what we even believe in. Not everyone believes in what I believe in, and that's fine. That's totally okay. But that we could all come together And even though we believe in very contrary things, or maybe have different lifestyles, or maybe come from different cultures, different cities, different countries, different walks, that we could all come together as women and do something beautiful. And that's what I'm happy of, and so proud of. And I know Seeds Canada is so happy and gracious, with all the donations and everything that came in. And it's
Totally.
not going to stop. I'm going to keep continuing and if it's off Twitch, I'm going to just keep continuing until I raise that goal, for them that I promise, definitely.
That's beautiful. And, I know you and I have had this conversation off of offline, off of Twitch. From my perspective, a cause shouldn't have to be popular versus non-popular. You know what I mean? Whether you are saving the trees, fighting for the whales, fighting for world hunger or homelessness or sex trafficking or breast cancer, it's fighting to make this world a better place, whether it be for nature, for animals, or human beings. To me, there really is no comparison of good versus bad. If you're bringing out good in the world, like, Matt, let's support more of that. Do you know what I mean? We need more good in this world. So, and maybe it's just more so that it's not, there's just not as much awareness with regards to it. And so people such as yourself are really like, you're blazing a light. You know what I mean? Like you're setting a torch out there, and this is just the beginning, right?
I just don't want to waste time, because time is so precious, and we know the people that we've lost along the way. And that's something I think about every day. It's like, we know the people that have meant a lot to us, right?
Yeah.
And their time was up, their assignment was done. And I kind of shared a little bit deeper on the health show about that. Like, and I just feel like there's certain people that touch your life and want you to carry the torch, right?
Absolutely.
Like, they want you to keep
Yeah.
pushing, and they wouldn't want you to sit there and be in grief or loss, because I was there for a very long time. So they would want you to get up, right? And that's something I talked about on the health show, and I can mention it here today because it's not something I'm embarrassed of. It's something that I'm, it's part of my story. But even when I moved to Toronto, I had, my boyfriend pass away when I moved here, and I think he's my number one accelerator, because he was my number one cheerleader. And it's been so many years, so I'm okay to talk about it now. And I feel like I'm in a different season now, but I feel like he's cheering me. Like, I literally feel like when I did Dundas Square, and when I was on that stage, I literally heard cheering in my heart. Like, you could do this. Like, I'm so proud of you. And I just felt this cheering in my heart that I'm trying again. So for me, Twitch has become such a special place, because it's not even just about the music or trying to make this work. It's like even my motivational show is because of him and the people I've lost along the way, and the thing that I've worked so hard at. This reminds me of doing a celebration of life event for my friend Lynette that passed away a few years ago. And we literally planned a wedding in 3 weeks. Like, I'm talking caterers, food, like I'm talking like finding the right venue, and everyone knows how hard a wedding is to plan. But I wanted to do something special for her, because I wanted to honor her life. So I wasn't just DJing that event. So this event, this raid train right here, reminds me of those moments. Like, the last time I ever worked so hard at something was with my friend Lynette, doing the celebration of life. And it was like a fancy gala. We did like a wedding for her in 3 weeks, to celebrate her life. And people were coming up to me, like, doing audio, video, speaking. I wasn't just DJing. I was like, testing food to make sure the food was proper. Venues, negotiating with the venue to get a cheaper rate. Like, it was a lot. So this event tonight, or this week, has brought and triggered back so many memories. That's why it's been pretty emotional for me, because it's brought back so many memories that when you meet beautiful people that have touched your life, you realize that those people weren't just random strangers that came in your life. Like, they impacted your life a certain way, and they wouldn't want you to sit in grief and loss and just keep sitting there stagnant. They would want you to get up and do something with your life, and like, know that our time here is so short.
Totally.
So what are you going to do to make a difference? What are you going to do to make impact? So that's why I guess this idea is just, it was exciting and it was something I needed to do kind of on my own and work out.
Mhm.
And I just feel like,
Mhm.
finally I can be how I am before that loss happened. You know what I mean? Like, you
Mm.
knew me from
Yeah.
Winnipeg, so you knew how I was,
Yeah.
and how much I kind of did and went out and doing
Yeah.
events and stuff.
Totally.
But
Yeah.
then you also kind of knew me after the situation happened,
Mhm.
and then it's like everything just stopped for a very long time.
Mhm.
So for me, even just starting this up again and getting back in front of the camera, like,
Mhm.
I'm just so, you know, just so happy that I
Yeah.
was able to kind of put something together, you
Yeah.
know? And those
No.
those those special people are the ones that are my motivators. Those are the ones that are saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, you gotta get up. You can't end these crazy dreams." So that's
Yeah.
why it's so exciting, because
Yeah.
there's way even bigger dreams that I have that aren't
Yeah.
even, that are way off of Twitch, but I can't even share that right now until it actually happens. So
Yeah.
that's why it's a little trippy that this is all happening. And I know people just think it's a raid, but to me it was a lot more than that, you
Of
know?
course. Yeah, of course. And you know what, honestly, Honey Flow, um, oh man, there's so much going through my mind as you're speaking, but I'm like, do not be rude, do not interrupt. There's so much I was just like, oh, I wanted
It's
to
okay.
interject.
It's okay.
But I will say that this is just the beginning. Do you know what I mean? And um so many of those people, I believe in that saying that you meet people for a time, a season, a reason, or a lifetime. Do you know what I mean? And so everybody crosses your path for a reason. Sometimes it's just seconds or minutes. Sometimes it's a season in your life. And obviously, everything's for a reason. But some people are lifetimers, right? But point being that you met those people, and it's like, oh, it's almost like a relay race. They pass the baton to you. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And time is very precious. It's like we don't. This sounds so awful, but like, and I don't want to make it like trite or like or minimize it, but we don't know our expiration date, right? I know a lot of people were shocked with what happened to Kobe Bryant, for
Yeah.
example. That's a very popular, because who doesn't know who Kobe Bryant is? But I don't know if any of you watch America's Got Talent. Is that it? With Simon Cowell and whatever. Anyways, but there's this girl by the name of Nightbird. I believe her name was Nightbird, and her video went viral. Anyways, so she was like stage 4 cancer, amazing singer. And like she was literally fighting stage 4 cancer. And she's like, I love music. I'm gonna go audition because what the heck do I have to lose? And she blew them away. And she's, anyways, they're like, who are you? And she's like, well, I'm fighting cancer, but I'm going to do this. Right. And they're like, so anyways, that video went viral because she's just such a light. I found out this past February, I just like by chance saw it on YouTube that she died. And I thought, because I think her video came out last year, and I thought, oh my gosh, it's viral. I'm sure it's like some like rich people or amazing like doctors or scientists or everybody was touched by her that she's going to get cured. She's going to get past this, and this story is going to become huge. She's going to blow up and become a star. She died. And I didn't know her personally, but I was rocked by that because I'm like, what? And so it's just stories like that where it's like, I'm still alive. My heart is beating. I have like oxygen in my lungs. I bet I am not taking life for granted. So, like, Honeyflow, what you're doing is something amazing. And it's just the beginning, and you're living life with purpose on purpose. You know what I mean? So, this is just, and those people that you met, like, just like, Nightbird for myself, and I've met other people who were like facing like terminal diagnoses and ended up passing away, but and some of them fought through it, but what they went through was just, it just rocked my world. So it's pushed me to like live life to the fullest, you know what I mean, and to do things that make a difference. And so I just want to say that you're doing it, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
and you're making those people proud. And there's at least some people go through experiences or meet people, and that kind of paralyzes them. They're filled with grief, and they're like, but you've used that to inspire you and to move forward, you know what I mean? So just
Yeah,
kudos.
for sure. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I don't know why I'm sharing this tonight, but maybe
So good.
it's for someone in the chat room, and the first time I shared my story about all of that, and you think daily, you don't, like, there's so many moments I think you know, when he passed away. There's so many moments because we were actually at the Black Moon concert the night before. And it's a big, long story I won't go into tonight, but it's like there's so many moments I think, man, that was the first time ever we were inseparable on a Saturday night. That was the first time we were not together. For some reason, there was a reason why we weren't together that day, you know, and I often think that like I could have been on the highway with him driving. He could have had a heart attack then. I could have, you know, been with him and not known what to do and see this right in front of my eyes. Like it's like those moments always you always think about those moments in your mind. But when I think about it, I don't think about it as being bad anymore. I think about it as, okay, there's purpose for me here. There's a
Yeah.
reason why I wasn't in that car when that
Mhm.
happened. There's a reason why when you
Mhm.
start rewinding the time, especially when you deal with losses, we usually go through a lot of bad memories, but we don't really look at the good memories, you know? And
Yeah.
it's quite a remarkable story, you guys, and maybe another time I'll share it. It is really quite a remarkable story. The amount of the events that happened is just unbelievable to me. But it makes me realize that something in quarantine got me up. Something got me up saying, "Hey, you know, you need to do something." But I'm like, "But I'm unqualified. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make a difference in human trafficking. I can't relate to a lot of these women." But then maybe I can, because when I heard Maria's story, on Friday, she said that there was many times where she was in that hotel room, you know, by herself saying a desperate prayer. Like, there were so many
Mhm.
times in that hotel room she was saying just to get me out, and nothing was getting her out. Like, nothing she could do was solving what she was involved in, right? So when she said that to me on Friday, that really hit me hard. That resonated with me. I could identify with that because maybe I can't identify being in a hotel room, but maybe I could identify saying that desperate prayer and wishing that you could get out, you know, wishing you could get out of loss or get out of grief or get out of a situation that you don't understand. So I could really understand what she was talking about. And then when she talked about like how much she's overcome, you know, like through forgiveness or like I can't even imagine forgiving a perpetrator. I can't even imagine forgiving, you know, people that have done horrendous things, right? Physically to me as a survivor. So for her, I just thought her story and her boldness on Friday, sharing her truth, it really touched a chord in me and made me realize that we all have stories in different ways. And people would never know your story unless you shared it, right? So
Mhm.
we all have stories to share with the world and experiences we've gone through. But the key is, you know, to be authentic and to share that with people. It's not we shouldn't keep our stories to ourselves. They're for
Yeah.
other people. And
Mhm.
you know, your story can save someone else basically. So, but I just
Yeah.
wanted to thank shoot, I didn't even realize we had a hype train. I
Oh.
wasn't even on this computer. Oh my gosh. So I thank you guys. Wow. Level 4. Oh my gosh. Level 4 of this
Ah,
hype train. Thank you guys so much. Wow. I just see oh
wow.
my gosh. It doesn't
Hello.
really show on StreamYards, and I haven't really been looking at the comments to be honest. DJ Creamy, thank you so much for the 1,000 bits. Wow. Tilt for the 1,000 bits.
Wow.
Misty Christie, thank you guys for having such generous hearts tonight. I know this is going to go to an amazing cause. 404 bits. Thank you so much. Psalmist for the 300 bits and getting me on the Hell show. I apologize. I didn't even let the guy ask any questions. Um, so I'll definitely pull back next time he has me on his show. DJ Fox C again for those 111 bits. DJ Chris Cut for the 143 bits. Wow. This girl, Xtina, oh man, for the 200 bits. Sonia for the
Mm.
sub to Blade is Truth. This is so beautiful, guys. I know it's going to help someone and do great things. Misty Christie for those 101 bits. Twinkie or Twinkle about her booter. Thank you so much, Twinkie, for those 100 bits. Chris Cut for giving the gifted sub to DJ Foxy, and then Mimi Berry earlier. I know she had to leave for the 1,000 bits. Thank you guys so much for being so generous tonight. Lang Louie for those bits. and know that we are definitely going to impact some beautiful women. And I'm going to
Mm.
try to get in contact with Laura and maybe try to do a video or drive up there. She's in Cambridge, Ontario, which is, I believe, an hour and a half away. But I'm going to try to find some time to do a video so you guys and interview her, hopefully in real time, so you guys could really see her. But if you guys missed her, definitely check out my last Friday replay. She's definitely a beautiful person. She has a heart. She's worked with Maria, and that's how Maria, that survivor, got on my show. And she's a beautiful person. I hope Maria is watching tonight, because she's going to have such a powerhouse story. Like, everything you go through, even if it's horrendous and horrible, it's like when you get out of that, you're a powerhouse for other people, you know? And I can tell the way she was talking that she's going to change and impact the world, you know, by what she's been through.
Yeah, you know what? I think that I second that motion in the way that everybody's got a story, and especially when you've gone through, when you've gone through some like craziness, trauma, or you name it. It's like that when you make it on the other side, when you heal from that, it gives you that cred to be able to talk to other people who are going through that, and it allows you to be that inspiration to show people I made it on the other side, and this made me an even stronger person, almost like a superhero, because it's like I made it, and because I made it, you can too, right? And the other thing that you're saying, like, I've heard so many stories, again, because I'm an inspiration junkie. You guys, I like inspiration, just told like inspirational stories and people. I feed off of it. And I've just heard again and again and again, so many people who have said exactly what you said, Honey Flo, where they're like, I'm not qualified, right? But it's always, those are the best stories for people who are like, how am I going to do this? Or how's this going to happen? And it's like, they rise above adversity. They, you know, it's the unexpected or unseen people, the people who don't have the resources, where those incredible things happen just because they're like willing to give it a shot and willing to be used, where it's like, okay, I've got this idea, and, you know, somebody out there needs my help or whatever. I want to make a difference. And it's like, they do the craziest stuff and have the best stories. So I just want to say, don't ever think that you're not qualified, like that, you know, somebody's told you you're not fast enough, not smart enough, not tall enough, not beautiful enough, whatever it is. Lies. Like, it's always, especially the underqualified, that do the most amazing things and end up having the most inspirational stories. So, you know, toss that excuse or lie out. You can do all things, and especially if it's meant to make a difference in this world, you're meant to be doing it. So yeah.
Yeah, it's so
Out of
true.
you, honey
So true.
flow.
Yeah, and also, you know, what's that quote? It's, and I've mentioned it before. It's like the harvest is plenty, but the harvest is huge, but there's few workers. That's a powerful quote to me. The harvest is huge, but very few workers. So it's like, that means that there's opportunity for me and you. That means that there's opportunity for all of us in this chat room to make a difference, to impact our communities, you know. And we're talking about purpose before, and someone asked me, well, I don't know what my purpose is, you know. And I said, well, you know, how you find your purpose is usually what people say about you. So if you're good with people, you're good at connecting, you're good at baking, you're good at talking, whatever it may be, you know, write down the things that you're really good at doing. That's going to bring you, number one, to your purpose. The second thing, I feel, this is just my opinion, but this is something I've learned from my life. The second thing is what fires you up. What gets you upset? Like, what gets you upset at night? Like, what fires you up that you just cannot stand, you cannot tolerate? That's probably where your purpose lies. The thing that angers you or upsets you, or just the human trafficking thing, like, that literally keeps me up at night, guys. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, it's just, it makes me feel so sick. Like, it makes me want to fight, like, you know, and like fight for these people, you know, like, it just does. There's something inside of me, but that's something that I feel was placed inside of me, and it's not going to be an easy mission whatsoever. You know, homelessness might be that. What about all the racial issues? I mean, it didn't just happen. It didn't just start in quarantine. A lot of people just think it just started in quarantine, you know, with George Floyd or other situations that have happened. It didn't just start there. This has been going on from the beginning of time. So it's like, what fires you up to want to, You know, I talk to friends out here that, you know, are Jamaican, and they're just like, hey, I have a passion for wanting to help women in my community, you know, Black women in my community do things. Like, I have a passion for that. I want to help them. I want to, you know, like donate to, you know, just those kind of companies, that sort of thing. So that's where their purpose lies, you know, and I think that's beautiful. I think they know, okay, this is what I want to do. That's what fires them up. Human
Yeah.
trafficking fires me up. I mean,
Mhm.
we all have missions. There's so many injustices in this world. There's so much, you know, and if I think it took a dream to say, hey, you know, while you're sitting in inadequacy and fear and you don't know what to do, this is still happening, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why we got to, you know, we got to do more, I think. So I
Mhm.
think that's where things lie. What do you think about that? Like, do you have anything to think about how people could find, you know, their purpose or their passion?
I think you stated it like super well. Like I was watching, and you may have actually seen that the same talk, but I was watching a talk about like how to figure out 7 ways to figure out your purpose, and one of them is like what injustices or what things out in the world drive you nuts, where you're like, oh, that needs to be changed. It's like, well, your purpose probably lies in there, and it's like maybe you're the one who's supposed to like make that change or contribute to that change. So that's one thing. And the other thing is
Mhm.
like your passions and your gifts. Like, what do you love doing? What do you love so much that you could do it for hours without getting paid? Or you lose track of time doing it because you love it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
and also natural inclinations, things that you're drawn to. So purpose is usually like tied into that. And I think that could be another DJ Honeyflow like talk show topic. Another one, I believe it was JB Wright 77 had a really great question. How do you know if you've really forgiven someone? And said, but
Mm.
that could be another show later. That's another
Mhm.
deep honey flow, you know,
Oh, that's a
topic.
deep question. But yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
definitely takes some time.
these are all like topics that like, you know,
I'm
tune
gonna
into
save
different
that,
honey
JB
flow
Right.
shows.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely save that. I know Flo has to leave soon as well, but I'm gonna save that definitely for another show, JB Right, for sure. I know we went off talking a little bit on different things here as well. I hope
Okay.
everything made sense to you guys tonight. But I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I truly do. I want to thank each and every you know, streamer, close to 100 female streamers that came on board and saw this vision with
Yeah.
me. I think you guys truly are amazing and you do such great shows. And it's just been a pleasure seeing all your personalities unfold on Twitch. And the fact that, you know, you have 100 new friends or more on Twitch is incredible. So I hope we could all stay connected.
Yeah.
And I thank you for your generous donations and uh, understanding this purpose and really marketing it and trying on your shows as well. I appreciate you. I'm going to
Mhm.
keep you guys updated. I'll probably just send you an email and close the Instagram groups, but I'm going to keep you guys updated on the amounts that come in. And
Mhm.
again, if you have any organizations, kind of like that other girl that messaged me that you know, does donations or matches them, I think that that's such a cool idea. You never know.
Mhm.
So definitely talk to your organization out there because organizations definitely can help grassroots causes like this, you know? So thank you so much, Flo, for coming on. Everyone add Flo
Mhm.
Soul again music. She was
Oh,
new to Twitch. She did her show yesterday for the very first time. She was a natural. I was messing with her. I forgot I was a mod. I forgot I put myself as a mod with a sword. I was like, oh, I'm a mod. I didn't even realize that. I forgot because I'm messing with her saying a mouse is running
oh
across
my
her room while
gosh.
she was trying to sing.
You
Like I
have
kept
just
messing with her.
you just have too much fun with that. Really. You and your shenanigans constantly, constant.
Yeah, it is.
If you want to continue, I may have to hop off, but if you want to continue on, because I know that you're so good at
No,
like
it's okay. I'm not so good being by myself, trust me. That's when they see me start stuttering. So I'm going to raid into another person too. If you just want to stick around quickly for the
sure,
raid,
sure.
we're going to raid into someone. But thank you guys again. I can't thank you guys enough for all
Yeah.
your support, your love, your help. And yeah, just go out and make a difference, whatever it is, you know. And if you jot down some of those things I mentioned, inbox me if you if
Yeah.
you actually come to a realization like, hey, I think this is where my purpose may lie, you know,
Mm.
and it's not necessarily the big stages and the big things. The people that have done great things have sometimes never hit a stage, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're I don't know, what they do in life has never been out there, shown in public, right? And I think of my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend. I think of him because he never showcased his stuff, but he would always pull a dollar. He would always pull something out of his pocket and
Mm.
always give to people, you
Yeah.
know. And I believe he served his mission here.
Yeah.
And it's just exciting to get back and try again. And I'm happy with that. So thank you guys so much for being on board with me. I'm so grateful. I truly am. Okay, so we are going to see who we could raid into. I was trying to see if there's any other women that have been on this train that we could raid back into and just support. I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys see anyone that has been on this train, or, you know, I think that would be nice. Um, Let me know what you guys think, and I'll definitely do that. I'm just trying to look here quickly and see if there's anyone. There's a lot of people on tonight. Wow. I keep scrolling and scrolling. Let's see here. Uh, you guys, oh, okay, I'm just looking here. Yeah, make sure you guys add flow music. Do you want to say anything to the chat room too before you leave as
Um,
well?
just the fact that you are all incredible. It's just I love doing this with Honey Flow, and yeah, just really good energy, good people, good vibes, great support. This is such a blast. Thank you all so much. It's great meeting you, hanging out with some of you again, and meeting some of you. Yeah, the Twitch community is definitely something special. So
Yeah, it is. Thank you guys so much. Oh man, okay, I see a few listing, a few streamers that are on. Thank you guys for coming again. You know what I'm gonna do actually? I'm gonna raid into back into. Hopefully they're still gonna be on. I'm gonna raid back into Lainey Star and Brown
mm,
Whiskey Girl, because Brown Whiskey Girl saved my life today. Lisa, the ex, she really did. When I asked her to stay on longer, because I just had a cancellation and I was
yeah,
rushing and I threw it
yeah,
in her chat room. So
yeah.
let's go to Lainey Star and support them. I don't know what they're talking about, but you know, I'm sure it's something juicy. So now that the raid's over, I think the guidelines are over too, which is good. So let's definitely raid into Lainey Star. Thank you guys again. I appreciate you. I love each and every one of you guys. I truly do.
Yay.
And I hope we could rock this and do this again and connect more on Twitch. And I can't wait for the next one. Maybe it'll be 200, you know. But Nerd Chris, we're gonna put Nerd Chris as my boss. We're gonna put Nerd Chris there in the front row, you know. And I'll probably get a team of people as well.
Yeah.
So let's see. I'm gonna try to see if I could set up this raid, and I think we're good. And then we're good to go. And thank you again, Flo, for sticking around for
Oh,
so
hey,
long. I
this is
appreciate
fun. Thank you. Yeah, no
you
problem.
you really helping me. And I'm going to have you on more of my shows to talk about other things too. So make sure you guys add. I want her getting up to 50 guys. Make sure you add Flow
You're
Soul
amazing.
music.
Well, come on.
She's such a down to earth person and truly amazing. And from my home city, Winnipeg, Manitoba, and look how far,
Winter
yeah,
Peg.
look how far we've come from being
Yeah.
in such a small city and now being in big cities, you know.
Mhm.
Okay, so I just started the raid, and it should be going off. So thank you guys again, and we'll definitely see you
Yay.
guys in these Twitch streets. See, I'm not making sense anymore. Twitch
Okay.
streets.
You just
We'll
need
definitely
sleep.
see them.
You're gonna get sleep.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to see if this raid went through. I think it is going through in a minute, and make sure you show them some love because they truly showed us love on my maid train. See, I said maid train instead of raid train. Yeah, no problem. So thank you guys so much. Oh, 15 more until she gets to 50. That's amazing. So make sure you
Hi.
guys add.
Maya,
Oh,
I'm
I could
just
hear. Oh, I
on
could hear you.
the show right now, but I'll head down and move my car in like in maybe
Shoot, we
about
could
10
hear
minutes.
her.
He's just interviewing.
Okay, there we go. I just took her out because I didn't think you guys wanted to hear her private. Maybe you guys do want to hear her private conversations, but just in case it's juicy, I can't do that to my friend. Thank you guys again, for coming out, supporting me. I appreciate you. Looks like the raid just went through. 15 more to 50. So let's make sure Flosoul Music, she's new to Twitch. Let's make sure she gets up to 50 so we could get her affiliated. And thank you guys again so much. I appreciate you guys. And we will definitely see each other soon in these Twitch streets. Okay. Oh, I think she's got her mic unmuted. Okay, so the raid did go through. I'm going to shut off this broadcast. And again, I can't thank you guys enough. Spread the donation link if you guys can to others. We're going to keep this going until I hit my goal, hopefully this month as well. So I'll see you guys soon, and take care.